think I'm live. All right. I am live, I believe. If everybody can hear me. You don't mind. Thank you, Bruce. Good. If you can hit that number 1, if you can hear me and if I sound okay, can hit that number 1. Oh, this is actually a nice little potential trade here. What would this be? About a 20-point risk. All right, Jim. So I'm going to do one right here. 20-point risk. Maybe a little bit less. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you got a new T-shirt on. The other one is starting to smell. Again, if you can hear me and if I sound okay, hit that 1. Let's make sure that this is fully operational. Number 1, if I sound okay. Thank you, Frank. Okay. Well, I know I sound okay to Jim. Me, very good. Okay. Let me check the 5-minute time frame here. Ooh, 5 minutes still pretty overextended though. Yeah, I could see this pullback needing to come down actually a little bit more, so I'm going to pass on it. I was thinking about, going long here and then a stop loan here. So I'll paper trade it, but looking at the 5-minute, I'm thinking this thing might need to come down some more. So yeah, I'd put my stop probably about right there. So we'll just use that, and we'll see if this would have been a winning trade. So, yeah, about 15. So, oh yes, thank you, Frank. As always, if you, yep, I'm glad I would have still been in. Still would have been in. I'd be very close to getting stopped out though. And right there, all right, I would have been stopped out. So yes, multiple time frame analysis is the key. The 2-minute was certainly looking good, but looking over at the 5-minute was looked a little too overextended. Thought that pullback would probably need to come down some more. And to give myself a little credit, that's exactly what happened, because that would have been a losing trade. So, all right. As always, if you've been here before and you know you're going to enjoy, hit that like button. We're going for 100 by the 2-hour mark, so we got enough time to get up to 100. But if you've never been here before, first off, welcome. It's great to have you. Don't hit the like button because I understand you don't know if you're going to like this or not. But if you've been here before and you know you're going to like, friendly reminder to hit that like button. I was coming today with a short bias. That would, hopefully, I've been fighting the urge to short this move. Well, good. I'm glad you didn't get steamrolled by it. But yeah, today was a terrible day to come with. Well, if you came with a short bias, that's fine. I guess the problem would be, did you remain with the short bias? If you remained with the short bias, yeah, then today you're probably not having the best of days. Up $650 on 2 linked TPT accounts and done for the day. Just got 2 new ABEX accounts. Gonna help myself at. But that. Yeah, I was gonna say that's where they get you. They know what they're doing. It does look oh so sweet at those 80 and 90% discounts, but they know what they're doing. They have a interesting model, and they do well for themselves, so it works. But you're right, Emmy. Yeah, it's those second phases where they come in. They get their money. That's for sure. All right, I do like this though now. So what would that be? I'm gonna buy there. Sell there. So there is a trade plan. I'm up on the day. But I'm gonna try to talk with a friend yesterday, and I was like, hey man, why don't you try 3 MNQs? Risk no more than $200 in a trade. So that's what I'm gonna do some of that here. See how we do with 3 MNQs. Potentially might do more, but I'm not willing to risk any more than $200 in a trade. But I got some wiggle room here on the day. Currently up, if you're not familiar with the screen down here. But there's the current trade that I'm looking at here. Again, long right there, stop right there. About, what is that, 15 points. So well within the $200 parameters. In fact, I could go up to 4 M&Q if I really wanted to. We'll just go 3 though. Hello from Hey, Sandor. Great to have you from Hungary. Down 200 in a test account, nothing major. Yeah, good. Yeah, it seems like if you showed up today with a bias on the short side and you're only down $200, I think it could have been a lot worse. So good job on that front. I'm done for the day. Up 715 on 5. Up something past on 5. Nice. Are you always with the take profit trader accounts? Are you always doing the 50Ks? Is that what you always do? So I'm assuming that you pass 50K more, or is that did you do something different? Okay, always a 50K. Why the 50K? Sometimes people, not that I'm saying you're wrong, just what's your logic behind the 50K as opposed to the 100K or the 150K or the 25K? 75K, like that one makes no sense to me, but you think it's the best value? Gotcha. And what makes you think it's the best value? Again, I'm not questioning you like with any sort of like gotcha moment coming up. I'm just asking, what's your thoughts on that? Again, I've ordered a buy at that green line there. So it's getting close. Easier to pass, and I can get to profits for withdrawals quicker. Yeah, okay, that does make sense. I'm going to move that down just a tad bit more. So 11, 5, 6. So my profit target will be, yeah, there we go. Again, green line is entry point. What moving averages? The purple line is the 50 period moving average. The green line is a 21 EMA. And then there, I have the 200 period simple moving average, which is the pink line, but currently not seen on the chart. All right, coming down to that green area. Or I should say that green line, that is an entry point. See if I can get filled here. All I get is 50K too, just because I'll never need more contracts than that. I'm conservative. Yeah, interesting. Still waiting down at that green line. I'm still wanting to take it. We'll see if it wants to come down there. Again, if you've been here before and you know you're going to enjoy, hit that like button. We're off to a slow start today, but that's okay. That's all right. If you're brand new, no need to hit it. I get it. You don't know if you're going to like this or not. But if you do, if you've been here before, don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you in advance. Well, on the bright side, I know I did adjust that green line down, but I still wouldn't have been filled anyway. So it's not like my adjustment down cost me getting in on that trade. All right, I'll cancel those orders out for now, and we'll see if it wants to come back down. This was any members of the private community that hang out here, did any of you take this? Just because I know sometimes, whatever. You say you called it, but where's the proof? Okay, fair enough. Let's see. But right here in the private community this morning, there was the pattern. Right there, mapped out, called out the NQ2 minute. And as you can see there, everything was before, so not like a textbook that's going to draw on this pattern after it's broken out or anything like that. Nope, none of that. It was right there beforehand, and then you can see right there the result. So any members here that took that, congratulations. Frank took it, very good. Your entry was higher. Did you chase, Jim? Red Tiger needs more coffee. Did you chase the price, Jim? What do you mean you got in higher? You didn't buy right here, did you, Jim? Was that your entry point right there? Long side entry? I hope not. That might have been Jim's entry point right there. We're waiting for confirmation. The long side. He said his entry was higher. Was that your long side right there? Okay. Whew. I was scared for a minute there. Scared for a minute. Thought maybe you're too busy eating pepperonis and you missed out. And you're like, oh, I just finished my pepperonis. Now it's time to buy. Renewed my DL. Yeah, renewed my driver's license. Okay, I was gonna say what? I'm assuming DL means the beard's a little thicker than normal, and hair is way longer than normal. I look like a terrorist. Alrighty. Yeah. Today's totally JGL. Yeah, no. Bruce is right. Today is a JGL day. We're in JGL territory. Just go long. If you are interested in buying a Lambo, a yacht, several Rolex watches, just go long. Just go long. That's all you have to do today. Just go long. I started off on the day, you guessed it, going long. And yeah, you guessed it. I was up, I think, $830. I want to say $830. And then guess what I did? I was like, all right, let me try to get short. And I got short. And then I went from 830 down to like 370, I think. And then I just kept trying to catch tops. And I suppose, to be fair, I was catching tops, but I never could get a single like bigger rollover. So it was like little scalping. But I am still not where I was at after that first trade where I went long on the day. So I'm technically still kind of, I'm red from my highs on the day still. Because I actually went long at first, and going long worked out fantastic. But then went short, like I said, gave back, not everything. And then I've been just kind of grinding back. So I'm almost back to where I was, but not quite. How much, Sandor, why do you wonder how much delay there is? Please don't tell me because I plan on just copy trading whatever you do, Sandor. That's not why you're asking, is it? I hope that's not the source of your motivation for why you would care about how much of a delay there is. I'm just going to do whatever this guy does. I'm not going to think for myself. No, but I didn't answer your question. I have not yet said if there's a delay or not. I'm just asking what makes you ask about the delay? Are you asking because you want to just blindly copy trade whatever I do? Right, just like, oh no, I'm just asking out of curiosity. I always get a little worried when people are wondering, hey, is this delayed? How much of a delay? Uh-oh. Sandor, if I remember right, you are from Hungary. Sandor from Hungary. Ain't nothing wrong with being a sheep. Uh-huh. Thing is, sheep bite. KZ, sheep bite. Sheep are friendly if they're just following you and you're making money, but uh-oh, you do something wrong, oh boy. The sheep can get a little crazy. I prefer to go short more often than not. The ride up is slow, but the ride down is so fast. Yeah. I would prefer to go short too, but yeah, movements like this, going short can, like I said, to be fair, I mean, it worked out, but I mean, it was just small little movements because right here, you know, you'd think you'd get, all right, I don't know if I shorted right here, but like an example, it's starting to come down and it's coming down and you're thinking, all right, here we go, let me let this work, and then whoop, and then you get stopped out. Or right here, okay, maybe this is finally, okay, it's starting to come down, whoop, and then you get stopped out. Again, so it came down enough, because I'm at least smart enough to acknowledge that these are essentially counter trend trades, so I need to be a little bit more aggressive with the profit taking and the stops and all that. But so, like I said, to be fair, you time it up right. It did give you enough movement to at least scalp out from the short side, which is what I was doing. But yeah, definitely no bigger. Now this one, where was I think I did something around here and made some money, but I remember thinking, oh, finally you give a bigger movement here. But even that one, look at that one, and then boom, up it goes. So I did try to get a trade earlier on this pullback right here, for those of you that were here, but unfortunately this move here did not drop down low enough, and now it's kind of leaving me back up in its dust. Yeah, it does seem to be getting a bit tired, Michelle. I mean, that seems somewhat interesting to me at 150 by the break there, but to Michelle's point, which I agree with, it does seem to be getting maybe a little tired here, so I don't know if I necessarily trust that or not. If anything, could be a short right here with the stop up here. As I just talked about here, everybody just go long, just go long. And now I'm like, I'm about to go short. That's my problem at first. As soon as I saw green, I was out. Then I held on from Heller Water, trying to find that balance. Yep, that's what trading is all about. Got to find the balance. I think we have a thumb trade on the 5 minute. On the 5 minute tick chart, but I'm still trying to learn about the thumb trade. Still trying to learn the thumb trade. So I think that would technically, what is that? 135. 135 would be the short entry, I think. You should use Japanese candlesticks to pinpoint entries. I've been doing pretty good in binary with them. What is your understanding that these are right here? Zeta Loco. What would you call these right here? Come on, Michelle. Didn't you know that Nick was on the webinar on Tuesday night? Everybody's talking about the thumb. I'm still not quite sure how to do it. I'm trying to figure it out. So I am $900 past my profit goal on 50K. Will that 900 be? No, stop trading. Richard, you have taken $900 more of risk. Yeah, Michelle, that's what happens when you just ditch the community like that. I know that's what he said. He's like, because he was looking for somebody to give a hard time. And he's like, and I was like, no, Michelle's not here. He's like, yeah, well, Michelle's probably off treasure hunting. I know, that's what happens. That's the trade-off. You went off treasure hunting, and then you missed the guy's name that you didn't even know in person. All right, I think this is the thumb. But I'm not going to hold him to it if it doesn't work because... Okay, yeah. This has got to be the thumb. All right. Let's see. Okay, there we go. I am short 12. So my stop is that green line. And out. Whoa, this thing is getting real glitchy. Did anybody see that? Like it shot up there and... I don't know if that was a thumb or not. I don't know. Well, I know that's fine if it's your first time tuning in. I was just confused. I mean, yeah, that was just, yeah. When you said I should use Japanese candlesticks, which is what they are, I guess I would have assumed you'd have looked at your screen before typing that up, but I don't know. But hey, welcome. I'm first time tuning in. Good to have you. But yes, I do use Japanese candlesticks. And what did I say? I said everybody just go long. What did I do? I went short with the thumb. And I think I did it right. But then again, this is more sideways, so maybe it was already, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. A work in progress. Love the words JGL. I kind of like JGS days. Just go short. But yes, today does seem to be a JGL. Last night I watched one thumb work on the 2-minute but never re-entered range on the 5-minute. Gotcha. Not my daily limit. I'm not. Yeah, no, that's what I mean, Richard. Like, once you hit your profit target at 3K, like, you should just stop. Because anything above there does you no good. Congrats, though, you passed. But yeah, you don't need to go anything above there. Man, Google blowing up my email here. Goodness. Well, is it about to break out again? I would not buy that breakout, but if you see something I don't see and you think you should buy that breakout, I mean, this thing does just go up higher and higher on the day, so I'm negative. I need help. I shorted at 538. 538. Are you doing you must be doing ES or something? Let's see, would 538 make more sense? Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe because the body looks large, a lot of candles. I mean, I don't know. These seem to be pretty normal candles to me. I mean, you got a good variety of candles. But yeah, to answer your question, this is the 2-minute time frame. Oh no, TY Gaming World SPY. Please don't tell me you're not day trading SPY options or something, are you? Got my biggest trade today after a 3-day losing streak. Today was a relief. Well, congratulations, congratulations. That's always a good feeling to get get that monkey off your back of a losing streak. Oh no, well, Thai Game World. Have you ever heard of futures? Thai Gaming World. Ever heard of futures? No. Okay. Well, I would encourage you to consider day trading futures. Let me also ask you this, Ty. Are you wanting to be a day trader, or are you a day trader? And so, if so, do you have $25,000? I know that's kind of a personal question, but it's relevant to this discussion. Man, I want to get short here again with the stop over these highs, but it just seems like one of those days where that's just not smart. So you want to be a day trader, and you also have more than 25,000? I'm not sure what the yes was. You said no yes. There's always the delay, so I always forget. I ask somebody multiple questions, and I don't know which one each is referring to. Oh, I'm on NQ right now. I'm on NQ. That's not where I wanted to be. I don't have. Okay. No, I didn't say 250,000. I said 25,000. Do you have $25,000? Oh, is this a double top? I got plenty of wiggle room on the day. Let's see. There we go. So let's see if this is a double top. If it's not, I'm going to have another losing trade here. So that green line down here is my first profit target. 25. Okay, well, in the world of options, then you know that you fall under that pattern date. I guess what do I expect? Why would I have thought that was a double top? This just goes up. That's all this thing does every day. Why would I think that was a double top? So jumpy, though. I don't know if that's just... Is that trade ovate today, or is that just the market as a whole? Again, that was just here, and then all of a sudden it was... I don't know. But yeah. Why? Why would I think that's a double top? Now, this is why I'm glad I used a stop loss, because apparently this thing's just going to rip and roll. But hey. Yeah, so within options trading, you fall underneath the pattern day trading rule, right? So you can't day trade as much as you want because you have limited day trades. Like when I say pattern day trading rule, you understand how annoying that is, right? Had some terrible trades this morning, but managed to crawl it back. Now I'm up. Good job. Okay, well, you have a cash account, but you still have to wait for that cash to settle, don't you? So you're not able to day trade as much as you want because as soon as you use it, you have to let that cash settle for the next day, right? All right. So let me ask you this. Would you like to be able to day trade as much as you want every single day? Not have to worry about cash settling or anything like that? Would that sound nice to you? Be able to do as many day trades as you want every single day and not have to worry about cash settlement. I fully disagree there, Brian. Yes. Okay. Well, then right there, what I would recommend to you is Pam's Plant, which is what we have right here. And I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on it, but reason number one is exactly why it would be good for you. Because in Pam's Plan is an argument to day trade futures through a prop firm. And right here that would apply to you. There is no pattern day trading rule, so you would be able to day trade as much as you want every single day. And you don't need a whole lot of money at all if you use a prop firm. Low capital required. The only question to you, or my question to you would be, let me bring up the prop firm that I use that I recommend, is do you have at least $105 that you could use? Because with $105, you could get $25,000 of purchasing power. And then and I'm just giving you the Cliff Notes version. The way it works is this. First, you've got to prove yourself as a trader. So you take a test. You pass the test by showing you can, manage risk and then make a certain amount of money. Then you move into the pro account, and the pro account is where you begin to make that money and get withdrawals. But the other nice thing here about Pam's Plant is the added risk control and how you get to protect your own money. So if you do something really stupid, you have a really bad day, you get stuck in a spike or something like that occurs, well then, worst case, the only amount you're going to have at risk is $105. So you can make way more than $105 once you get to the pro account, and you get to start to keep that money. But the entire time you're doing that, worst case, you break rules and they take the account away from you, you only lost the cost of the account, which in this situation would be $105. So that is a Cliff Notes version of Pam's Plant, but the pattern day trading rule for you in and of itself, I would hope would be convincing enough to kick options to the curb. Not to mention, when I say theta, I'm sure you're well aware of what theta is, and I'm sure from a day trading standpoint, you have been very annoyed by theta over the course of career, or over the course of time. And there is no theta in futures. Futures with a prop firm is a great way as well. Yes, that's why I would disagree that with a small account swing trading is best. In fact, I think that's way risky because all it takes is one gap down or something crazy to happen and your entire account is gone. So that's why I would kind of strongly disagree that, hey, you have a small account swing trade where you have the component of risk known as the overnight risk, right? When you hold overnight in a stock, all it takes is something crazy to happen, and then all of a sudden, now to be fair, it can go in your favor, but the risk is totally out of your hands. I mean, the trade is out of your control completely when you're swing trading. Holding overnight, yeah, a small account could be gone just like that. But with prop firms, yeah, you may quote unquote lose an account, but in a losing account is, only going to be a small slice of what account would be. Again, if you are enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. It's very straightforward to sign up. So you would pick the purchasing power that you want, and then during the checkout process, they're going to ask you what platform do you want. What you see here is Tradeovate. You'll click Tradeovate. And then the nice thing here is that Take Profit Trader, who is the prop firm, they will go and create the Tradeovate account for you. So you don't have to go to Tradeovate separately and create an account and go through that, hassle of doing all that. Take Profit Trader does that all for you. They'll then let you know what your login information is, and then you can get started right away. So it's very straightforward. But as of now, I don't remember. I think at least 10 started live stream a couple months ago. But we've had at least 10 people show up that were day trading options. They tried Pam's plant there, and now they come back, and including yesterday, Elusive Lens, I think was her name, came back yesterday and said, wow, I used to be a day trader of stocks and options, but I just tried Pam's plant, again, day trading futures through a prop firm. So much better, so much better. So we're at a 100% win rate. Anybody that goes from day trading stocks or options to trying Pam's plant futures through a prop firm, so far, every single one has come back and said, yep, that's way better. Because it is. Futures they're just better. And that's not like my opinion, that's mathematically provable, especially when you factor in the prop firm just because of how it insulates your risk. It gives you great growth potential with copy trading. There's just a lot to like about it. So should I lose money to get closer to... No, you're fine. I'm just saying, just stop trading. How many days left do you have, Richard? No, like I said, it does you no benefit. You're taking on unnecessary risk because every trade you take to try to get further and further above, you're actually putting yourself at risk of dropping below, and then you're not going to pass. Okay, so if you have one more day, then tomorrow you're going to go to MNQ, you're going to click 1, and you're going to do what's called a flip day. So all you're going to do tomorrow to log your 5th day is do 1 MNQ. You're going to come over here. You're going to buy market. And then as soon as you click that, come over here and sell market. And you're either going to make or lose, a few bucks. And then you're done. Don't touch that account the rest of the day because you now have day number 5 under your belt. Again, seems like the obvious thing here to do. Well, I don't even know what I guess just go long. To me, it seems crazy that this bull pennant here is truly going to break out again to the upside. I mean, at one point, do we actually get a little bit of a deeper pullback? But I've now gone short twice, and I'm 0 for 2 on shorts because all this thing does is go up. So a tricky. Well, I guess not tricky. If you just go long, apparently you will make money. Correct. The funded account, you will start fresh. Hey, we're almost at 50 likes. Not doing so bad. If you have not hit that like button yet, let's try to get a momentum surge up to 50 likes here. Got 11 to go. So if you have not hit the like button, JGL on the pullbacks. I know. The tick chart looks pretty good here. Right at that level. What settings are your This is the 21 EMA. That is the 50 SMA. And then somewhere dotted yellow is the VWAP. Pink line is the 200 SMA. Call me crazy, but a small pullback to the 1910 area. Where's 19? I mean, yeah, I would just call you crazy for that very reason. Because I mean, we're only going up today, so why do you really think it can fall all the way down there? Like that just seems pure crazy talk. I mean, really, for the price to come just down to there, I mean that might as well be a total crash at this point. Because yeah, we just go. All this stuff does is go up. That's it. That's it. We're only going up today. And I'm looking over here. I've been experimenting some with tick charts. So this is 1,000 tick, and I was watching it at that 21 EMA there. But I'll pass on that trade for now. We are moving into the afternoon hours, and afternoon is not really my strong suit. Literally only a 21 EMA on the 5-minute. That's all we're asking for. Yeah. Yeah, that's the only difference. But the nice thing is once you hit the buffer, then it stops trailing you, and then it just becomes a question of, do you want to build more buffer, or do you want to start to pay yourself? Try the 133 tick. Maybe someday. I get a little leery. Try the 147.3789 tick chart. It's magical. So what's the theory, Bruby, on why the 133 tick? What makes why 133 as opposed to 132? I suppose, is it some sort of like Fibonacci or something? I don't know. 33 is not a Fibonacci. Yeah. So what's special about the 133? Think or swim recommended. Gotcha. Have you had good success with it? With the 133, good success? Cool. See, now I want to go long here. But now the live stream ego is like, dude, you're already on a two trade lose streak. What happens if now you go long and then you lose? Now you're gonna, but like, who cares? Who cares? So that's always a voice. Well, I'm not gonna speak for all live streamers, but it is a live stream voice. All right, so it's right at the bottom of that level. I was looking and seeing, I think we have maybe a rising wedge here. And we do. All right, let's see if I can play the breakdown here of this rising wedge. Couple profit targets there. Again, trying to play a breakdown here of this rising wedge pattern, which is a bearish pattern. Or supposed to be bearish. Up 1900 on that move. Good job. I'm not sure what move you're talking about, but whatever the move was, congratulations. The move down. Nice job. I'm not sure how you played it, but hey, you played it and you made money on it. I shorted 200 basically. Oh, okay. Gotcha. So you're playing this top. So basically you nailed the top right there. Good job. Soak, good morning. See, how come when I try to do that, I just get roasted? But you just went up there, you shorted and nailed the top and it rolled over beautifully for me. I get these moves where it just whoosh. Oh, come on. Toying with me. Toying with me. Well, I could have scalped out there for a bit of a gain, but I'm choosing not to scalp on this one. I'm trying to let it work for me a bit. So maybe choosing to scalp will ultimately turn out to be the wrong decision. My first payout yesterday from Take Profit. Nice job, Steven. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. Good job. Congratulations, man. That is some good stuff. Me? Oh, I'm just busy giving back all my gains on the day. I really do like this. Yeah, we're right there on the tick. Yes, I'm talking to myself right now. All right, if this wants to come down. Okay. Got 3 more. Come on. That blue line is my average. Come on, tick chart. I'm watching that off screen. Come on down. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Took off 3. Come on, give me that one. There we go. Let's just do this now. Let me put my stop up here. So this will be a winning trade no matter what, because my stop is well in the green, but I will move it down as it goes. And we'll see if it can get down through that purple. I should probably take one off at that purple line because it could really well bounce from there. Okay, there we go. So I have one left because I could very realistically see it bounce from that area. So I'll put my stop right there, and we'll see if it can come down. But I'm glad I took off that one down there because to no surprise, it did bounce off that area, and I'm probably going to get stopped out here on my final one, and there we go. So, hey, that's why risk management matters, folks. That's why risk management matters. Notice, since the stream, I am 1 for 3, but I'm now green. Manage that risk. Manage that risk. So I realize that lesson maybe doesn't carry as much weight if you just got logged on, but I was down in the hole, like $180 before that trade. And that one could have been a lot more. Like I said, I gave it a chance. I think the probably smartest thing I did was take off that one down there. I'm like, I should probably just take off that. I'm glad I did because right off that purple line. But I was positioned that, again, like, what are you talking about? So but you're only up 850. And that's true. I did wipe away the loss, but had that thing kept coming down, that number would have kept on going up and up and up and up. It just didn't happen to work out, but I was positioned. I was in the place to have it work. But there we go. Maybe someone else watching your moves and pours money into it when you're short. Yeah, could be. The market makers may be out to get me. But there we go. So just manage the risk. If you're wrong, cut the losers. As you saw me, it's annoying. But also, chalk one up for the rising wedge pattern. There it was. Was it the most cleanest of rising wedge patterns? It wasn't. But got the breakdown again. Rising wedge is a bearish pattern. Took a little patience for it to work. I did add because, like I said, multiple time frames. I was watching the tick chart. Let me show you what I saw on the tick chart. I added those 3 when the tick chart was right up here at the 21. I was watching that. I'm like, all right, I'm going to add 3 right when it hits that 21, and boom. So, I mean, not to pat myself on the back, but hey, that was I pretty much, those 3 additional ones that I added in, I don't know if I could have timed it any better. So chalk up a victory for the tick chart. I'm really starting to, Mark, don't you use a tick chart? Man, where's this cough coming from all of a sudden? Hey, we're only 5 away from 50. Let's go. Hit that like button. Let's get this 50. All right. Yeah, Mark and somebody, a couple other people, kind of, I'm seeing people getting payouts and all that sort of stuff. And people getting payouts, it's, hey, well, yeah, what are you using? And I know a couple of them have said the tick chart, yeah, for futures. And once again, bounced right off of the 50 period moving average. Let's see. Hopefully I didn't miss any. I shorted it too, but only for 600. What are you talking about? Like, some of you are losing touch. KZ. I shorted it, but only for $600. What do you even, what? Yeah, KZ, how long were you in that trade, you greedy savage? How long were you in that trade, you greedy savage? Now, KZ is a student, so that's why I'm going to be a little bit tougher on him. KZ is a student of the mentorship program that I offer. Hey, we're up right over 50. There we go. Here we go. We got some momentum. Again, we need to get up to 100 likes by the 2-hour mark. So we have, an hour and 13 minutes to do that. So if you have not used a like, but you want to ensure the party continues, then make sure you do use that like. Where'd KZ? Did I? Too long, like not. Oh my, KZ, you are messed up. You are messed up, man. You should be ashamed of yourself. Okay, KZ, let me ask you this. So KZ is complaining about making $600 in 9 minutes. KZ, same question to all of you. Let's say you have somebody sitting next to you and they make $50 an hour. You know what? Let me cook. Let me get a little spicy. The person next to you makes $100 an hour. And then you sit there and be like, I only made $600 in 9 minutes. What do you think that person would think about you, KZ? They would be like, this person is a savage. This person is the greediest piece of garbage I've ever met. That's what they would think. You have been corrupted by social media, my friend. For you to say, I only made $600 in 9 minutes, you are corrupted. Get off of social media. I know. I am the same way. I suffer from the same temptations. You look around and you see such and such make thousands upon thousands of dollars, and that's great for them. But then you look at making $600 in 9 minutes, and then you have the gall, the nerve to say, I only made $600 in 9 minutes. Come on now. Thank you, Emmy. Thank you for bringing in some perspective. As a truck driver, I had to work 18 hours to make $600. And we got KZ. Again, I'm being hard on him because he's a student. I think he's a Canadian too, if I remember. You're a Canadian too, aren't you? So we're definitely going to give him more grief as a Canadian. No, we love our Canadians in the community. But, yes, good job, KZ. $600 in 9 minutes is bonkers. But I do also appreciate where you're coming from. I do see where you're coming from. You didn't quite follow the trade plan as you should have. So that frustration, I know what you mean. So I'm half being serious here, but I'm half, kidding also. Because I get what you're saying. Oh, relax, Aradu. Good morning. How do you do? Again, if I missed anybody's message, I apologize. I'm not intentionally ignoring. I get what you're saying, KZ. Oh, now is this a buy here now? 50. Remember I mentioned that earlier? There's a real chance it could bounce him. That's why I took off that short, and it continues to hold. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this line. I could see this trend line still playing a role in the future. No pun intended. So we'll leave that line out there just to see if it comes into play anymore. I'm working on Pam's plant, CC. I don't know what that means. Oh, okay. I need feedback. So yesterday, man. Yesterday, somebody gave me some feedback, and some of you confirmed that the banner at the top, I mean, it's not like it was hard to read. Somebody said it was pretty clear, but my goal is for it to be clear. So is it easier to read the top, particularly Code Clay? At the top where it says Code Clay, would you say that's pretty straight? Is that clear? Is that easy to read? Again, like I said, I'm all for constructive criticism. Yesterday, I got some constructive criticism, so you're not going to hurt my feelings if like, no, Clay, that's still kind of sketchy. So is it clear? Come on, man. Pretty clear. Euphoric, are you being serious? It's still not clear? It's just only pretty clear? Be honest, you're about to get banned, Euphoric. I'm asking. No, now is not the time to troll. Like I'm actually in business. Like let's make sure. So no kidding right now. No joking around. Is it clear? You're another Canadian? Oh, bro. Well, that explains a lot. Yeah, that explains a lot. Clear. Pretty mean beautiful. Oh, so it's beautifully clear. Gotcha. Well, that makes me feel better then. Beautiful. It's clear. Okay. All right. Good. Crystal. There we go. Thank you, Ken. So we will leave it at that. I thought I'd leave the green up there maybe to help it stick out a little bit. Because if it's just black and white, there's kind of already a lot of black and white on the screen, so I don't know if that'd make it stand out a little bit, but maybe the green does, maybe it doesn't. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I don't know. What are you looking at? This is the futures market. What do you trade, Arvin Jar? I'm sorry. You have a cool looking name. I don't know how to pronounce it though. Okay, good. Roger's the one that started off the criticism, constructive criticism, I should say. And by the way, there is a big difference. So the constructive criticism that Roger gave. How does it look now, Roger? Everybody else is saying it looks clear. Does this look better now? Is that clear? I'm thinking of listing Pam's plant and don't G. I don't know what that... I'm not sure what you mean by you're listing Pam's plant and don't G. Crystal. Is that clear? Crystal. It can't be Dumb and Dumber. Name the movie. Crystal clear. I want to say Top Gun. It can't be Top... No, not Top Gun. Am I clear? Crystal. I don't know. What is it? I think you got me. I mean, yeah. I'm okay. Good. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I don't know that one. Oh, if it's... Yeah, no. I think... I don't even know if I've seen that one. Oh, I should have known that. I knew it was Tom. Yeah. Jack Nicholson. Yes. I mean, I don't know if that's like an iconic... Well, I think it's... Because it did. It was there. So I was kind of right. I had the right actor. No, okay, let me just... I'll show you... I'll tell you just... This is how good of a line this line is. What would be the obvious quote from A Few Good Men? What is the obvious quote from A Few Good Men? So if someone were to give you a quote from A Few Good Men, what do you think the quote would be? And this is gonna, and you'll all get it, because we all know the answer to this question, if you've seen A Few Good Men. Exactly. There is a quote that is like one of the quote among quotes. And if you were to expect a quote to come from A Few Good Men, it would be this quote. Like, in fact, if you were doing a movie quote game and you had like tier levels, like easy, medium, hard, this would be an easy one. Yes, exactly. Mark, Frank, Jamie. You can't handle the truth. All right. So our friend, I'm sorry, I lost track, but the person that trades SPY options, are you still here? With the cool name that I don't know how to pronounce. Are you still here? I got distracted by a movie quote. Did I say short at 200 again? I would if I were to be looking at short, I'd be interested in that upward trend line here. You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. I mean, that's one of the most iconic scenes in all of movies. I mean, it's crazy. Clay, what do I do after I hit the $3,000 in profit in the simulator? Do I have to contact? No, they'll let you know. How many days have you done it? Art, what day are you on? And I'm assuming you're doing Take Profit Trader. If you do anybody else, and I don't know. I'm only really familiar with Take Profit Trader. So what day are you on, Art? Oh no, I think we lost the person that was doing SPY options. That's sad because they're wasting their time, wasting their capital, taking on way too much risk. That's a sad situation. If you are trading SPY options, please let me know in the chat so I can tell you a better way. A better way. There is a better way out there for you. And that's not just me there truly is a better way. As I've said, and I'll continue to say, if I were granted the power to say, hey, you don't like that person, sentence that person to a torturous situation within the financial world, I would say, all right, their sentence is day trading options. That's what I would sentence them to. Okay, today is day 5, and yeah, don't touch the account anymore, and they'll automatically get in touch with you. Say, hey, they'll say, hey, you now have a pro account. You have to fill out some forms, so they know how to tax you. Because once you start to make money, they will need to report that. So yeah, you have to fill out a couple forms before you move into the pro account, and then you'll be good to go. So congratulations, Art. Great job passing. I mean, we now do have a bigger picture. Another trend line right there could be drawn into play to measure this. I don't know if it's the greatest looking pattern, but if that's a resistance, that's support. I mean, you got somewhat of a wedge here. But again, it's looking like it's getting a little bit tired. So I personally would be nervous playing any of this up around here. No, that depends on a strategy. I mean, if you're going to take some quick scalp, I'm sure something like that, you could get to work out. But yeah, I'm probably leaning a little bit more bearish biased at this point. We can get rid of this down here. This has served its purpose. Let me cook. Let me cook on this real quick. Let me cook. Does this match up anywhere over here? Ooh. Are we getting spicy here? Am I grabbing some oregano right now? I got some oregano right here. I got some cayenne pepper right here. Look at that. Look at that trend line. All right, I think it's worth watching. Got a clump there. Got that. Got a couple right there. It's basically matching up with the 50 period. Oh boy. I mean, that's almost like if this falls down through here, is that what unleashes the floodgates? Is that what is going to pierce the side of the bulls and cause them to start to bleed out more? That's spicy. If you don't like spicy food, you might want to leave. We're cooking. We are cooking. I don't know. What do people think? Is that a long there or is that a short? Woo! Who's cooking with this? Anybody going to cook? I'm interested in a short, but I'm not willing to take it now because my stop would have to be all the way up there. I'm not willing to risk that much. But if this wants to go sideways here and then come down, and that way I could have a stop like right here, have a tighter risk profile, I like that trade. I like that trade, but I'm not willing to take it on this. Oh, look at that. Purple line once again. Like I said, I think I'd be needing a short on the break. I would not want to try to anticipate that just because, to be fair, there have been a lot of bounces off of it. But yeah, if it does push down through, might be worth it. This is the first time, so let's look at the 5-minute. This is the first time where it came back up, and then on another move back up, it did not put in a new high. That move up stopped right there relative to that one. You look at all these other ones, when it made that second push, it always did go to new highs. So we do now have officially lower highs here. So is this the leading indicator? More to come down? Could be. I don't want it on this candle. But if this next candle, if it can stay above on this candle and the next candle makes the move, I'm getting short. Mild head and shoulders forming. Yeah, we're getting... But once again, right, look at that. Right off the purple line. Amazing. The power of charts. I actually downloaded the account last Sunday and didn't start trading until Tuesday. And my first day, I finished down 500 in the red. Yesterday, I bought the account to 5... Sunday. No, I don't. No. You want to be Sunday to Monday, Monday to Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, no, you're not on day 5, Art. I think check your dashboard on Take Profit. Are you using Take Profit Trader, Art? I think you're a little confused. I am thinking of listing Pam's plan and day trading stocks with checks and to show. Oh, I see. Yeah, that'd be interesting, like a chart. Yeah. Yeah, I think something got cut off because last time it just stopped with the letter G. But yeah, no, that'd be interesting. Where does that 5-minute 21 line up on the 2-minute? $21. 19,120. So yeah, we'll get that. What did I say? 19,120. So right there. So even with that, Northlander, still plenty of wiggle room to at least, so you could pull off profits there, and even if it bounces off the the 21 on the 5-minute, you'd still be good to go. Yeah, so on your dashboard, look at the account, and it'll tell you what day you're on. But if you just started on Sunday, I don't think you're on day 5. Because remember, Sunday and Monday count as one day or one session. So Sunday to Monday, Monday to Tuesday, Tuesday to Wednesday, Wednesday to Thursday, which is today. Yeah, you're on day 4 right now. So you are not on day 5. Whoa. Somebody tweet something? It's 11. We're at a random time, so it's not like anything news. I mean, if you want, Andrew, you can. I'm not, like I said, I think that's a good idea. That doesn't mean that I'm going to use it if it doesn't look good. But yeah, I could see that being a value. Something happened. Does anybody know? I don't know. Do we know? Does anybody know if there's a tweet or something? As always, at the hour mark, I like to try to give everybody the heads up warning. I'll go 2 hours no matter what, but if I go beyond 2 hours, I leave that up to if people are still interested, and I define whether or not people are still interested by likes and super chats. So we have about 55 minutes to get this up to 100 likes or $20 in super chats. So still plenty of time, but if you are enjoying and you want the party to continue, then hit that like button. Let's get this up to 100 likes so that once we get to that 2 hour mark, we won't have to worry about it. But well, it got very snappy. But look at that. You can't make this stuff up. Look at that purple line. And I know maybe that doesn't mean much, but if you're on the live stream, back during this phase or in my last trade, I made the comment, yeah, I should probably take some profits at the 50 just because it could. And look at that. The 50 has continued to hold. Again, not patting myself on the back, but charts. Patting charts on the back. They're a great tool. Like I said, I did not trust anything long, which is why I didn't buy that break right there. If longs did buy the break, they're probably regretting it. To be fair to them, they still might be in because the chart hasn't necessarily done anything wrong to buy the break. You would think wrong if it breaks down below these lows. Anybody that bought the break out there is probably stopping out down around here somewhere. Hey Clay, is there a reason why my entries are getting suspended? I'm using Tradeovate as my platform. I'm not sure what you mean by they're getting suspended. Could you provide a little bit more detail? And my other question is, are you using a prop firm or are you using Tradeovate and then your own money? Yes, maybe hindsight will have me look like a fool, but I like I said earlier, I'm too nervous to play anything like this long. But maybe, like I said, maybe it does break out and it goes to the moon, and I'll look like a moron. But hey, you know what? Not the first time, won't be the last. But yeah, I am definitely more so bearish right now on this one. It seems to be running out of steam here a little bit, especially in regards to this spicy trend line right here. Going to scalp long at the 50. All right, Frank. Hope it works out for you. What is your entry point at? And how much of scalp are you looking for? All right, it is broken back up. So like I said, to be fair to the people that bought this initial breakout, I would assume they weathered this storm right here because the price never did violate any of those lows. So they're definitely feeling better about things. Maybe people are like, no, I'm going to buy the breakout now. So we'll see. But as I on the record, I'm just not feeling that right now. Oh, okay, elusive lens. There you are. I was talking about you earlier. We had another couple people here that showed up that were currently day trading like SPY options. And I was just like, oh, please stop, please stop. We had somebody yesterday. I think their name was Elusive Lens. And now I look at your name and I was right. Elusive Lens. So if those of you are still here, or if anybody does day trade options, Elusive Lens is the newest convert. They came from that world. They tried Pam's Plant, which is, again, day trading futures through a prop firm. And they are loving it. And this is looking like it was a legitimate breakout. So if you're a scalper, the scalpers already made money on that move. Now it's just a question of, do the people that want to see it move more, are they going to reap the rewards? But scalpers certainly have had plenty of room already to make money. Noah, hello. So the white line here represents the high of the day. So at this point, it seems like wants to go up there and test that high of the day. And I'd be interested in a short at that upward trend line there, but that's got a ways to go. And there we go. Okay, well, I was wrong on that one. Congrats if you did buy the break, though. Oh, yeah. No, I'm not shorting up here. I'm not shorting up here. Only if Mark is. If Mark's shorting up there, then I'll short up there. He knows how to pick the tops, not me. Nope. All right, he's not shorting there. Neither am I. Nope. Yeah, technically it already pushed above those highs, so depending on how tight the stop loss was. Oh, it's whispering. Get short here, stop right above there. Very tight stop. Low probability trade, but if it rolls over, you're going to be getting paid in a very big way. But I'm just going to sit here and... At your trend line, I'm interested, though. Yeah, same with me. I like this trend line up here for a potential short. We'll see if it gets up there and then what kind of candle starts to form. But if the price can get up to that trend line, to me, that is a point. That's the worst looking question mark I've ever seen. There we go. That's a little better. I'm interested up there. But for now, I'm just going to sit and watch. But man, oh man. Let me put it this way. If you're saying you're getting short right now with the stop above the white line, I would not call you crazy. I'm not going to do it, but I would not call you crazy. I would not say that that's some sort of random move. I would say it's a lower probability trade, but you're being compensated by the fact of if it does work out in your favor, you could be looking at a whole lot of potential gain relative to what was being risked in the first place. But it is, I would say, like I said, lower probability. But I would not call you crazy in the least. I see the logic. I see the logic. But I've already tried to catch a couple of tops, and I was 0 for 2, down 180. And then finally took a rising wedge breakdown, and that brought me from down 180 to up $8.50 on the MNQs there. So as far as live stream trades are concerned, I am 1 for 3, but I am green. So cheers to risk management. Now we have the question, do we play a back test and go? Is it going to come down to this level, back test, and then go? Whew. Well, if you did take that short, congratulations. That's what I mean. You would not have been stopped out. You would have had a very minimal risk. Again, it wasn't the highest of probabilities, but just because it's not the highest of probabilities doesn't mean it can't work. And that's what I mean. You can get paid. Look at this. Compared to what would have been risked up here, whoa, you were getting paid. So congratulations to anybody that did. Like, I think it's petering out. You nailed it. You nailed it. Oh, boy. Oh, that's... So my wife just texted me the picture of somebody on a Cybertruck. I don't know. I'm not trying to start any fist fights here, but I'm not quite sure I understand. I understand the attraction of these things. It's just not that I'm a car guy. I'm not. I don't really. That's just not me. But I'm not quite sure I understand why people find that attractive. Again, I'm not trying to start a fist fight. If you think they're attractive, if you think they're the coolest thing ever, we can still be friends. We'll just have to agree to disagree on that one. But, yeah. That would make sense because my wife is headed to Des Moines. Des Moines is where all that cash is at. They don't grow corn in Des Moines, Iowa. They grow cheddar. They grow that ched. Yeah, I don't, because it's bulletproof, maybe. Yeah, and I get it. Like a Cybertruck in, what is that, South Chicago? Or like Detroit? Well, yeah, I mean, a Cybertruck, if the reason being because it's bulletproof, that's probably a good reason to have a Cybertruck in those areas. Portland, Philadelphia. But yeah, I'm on team. I'll take a pass. Am I being? Yeah, I'm just not. I don't get. Again, here we go. Here's one without any marketing. It's just that's what it is without the glitz and glamour. A little rainy here in Iowa, so we got some rain on. But I mean, I don't know. I'm just not quite sure. Wow, those shorts are getting paid. Now it's back down the trend line, but I definitely don't trust this. This move started here, and it's all the way down there. That's a little bit too stretched to be shorting at an area of support like that. So I'm going to pass on that short. I wanted a little bit more of a methodical approach. I'll keep it in there, but yeah, so the trend line here, once again, is held strong. So if this wants to chill out a little bit, and give us maybe like a little bear. So this would be great. If it could go sideways a couple more and then think about what we'd have. So we'd have this. We'd have something like this. And then we'd have that. Put the golf hole up here for you golfers. Make it a little bit more visual. We have an upside down pennant. So we'd have a bear pennant here. But it can't spike up too much. It's got to stay within this range. So that could be interesting. I'd be interested in something of potentially that nature. Still not willing to, personally, I'm not willing to take it on this candle. Maybe the next one, I'd be willing to take it short here. And then on the tick chart, 5 minute. I'm sorry, not the 5 minutes, just the tick chart, 1,000 tick chart. That's kind of spicy. Gonna keep an eye on that trend line off screen, but like I said, I'm not gonna take it on this candle. But now again, would I call you crazy if it came back down here and you took it and your stop was, somewhere up around here? No, I wouldn't call you crazy. But like I said, I want to see if this thing wants to consolidate out, build us a little miniature bear flag. It would be more so a pennant. Build us a bit of a bear pennant here, and then I could see myself being interested. Oh, you're using the 5,000 tick too. All right, I've never looked at a 5,000 tick chart. Because both fighting words. Yeah, I know that is kind of fighting words. Tesla is a little bit of a hot topic these days. Added up one micro every several ticks at one time, was red minus 100, but survived with $50 green. All right, Rav Sean. Well, that's a way that you'll either end up green a lot of the time, or else your account will be roasted, and it'll be bye-bye. I like cars and women with curves. I'll keep my 9 miles per gallon Camaro any day over a Cybertruck. I seem to catch the $20 to $50 scalps. Well, yeah, got it. Just do what works for you. Okay, bounce up here and then come back down. But it doesn't seem like it's going to listen to me. Let me move this up. What is that right there? I could see the bounce point now being 135. So if you did take that short, do whatever you want to do. But I could see that being an area that you might want to at least pull off some profits, because that is a big pivot point on. I'll just show you. That is not only the pivot point on the 5 minute, that dotted brown line, but you can see right there that 21 EMA. It's also right there. So it's kind of like a double whammy of potential support. So if you did take that trend line short, might want to consider maybe pulling off some right there. But like I said, that's why I wasn't quite convinced. I want to see one more candle. I want to see a little bit better of a bear pennant form. But again, I'm not saying if you did take the short that it hasn't worked out, because I assume your stop is probably up around here somewhere. So I would assume you'd still be in, and this is just more of an annoyance to you than anything else. Again, if you enjoy the commentary, if you enjoy kind of just the stream, and you have not hit that like button, hit that like button. Let's get this up to 100 likes so we can ensure that the party continues. So if you still do have a like, make sure you do it. Oh, we got a JJ. We were at 68, once just went down to 67. Did JJ create a new alias? All right, still a waiting game right now. I mean, I'm sure there's people going long down here, and I can't say I blame them. I mean, it is at this trend line that has produced about 4,000 bounces at this point. I mean, this trend line is coming, from back here when we... So there, there. Now we have right here congestion. Hasn't been the cleanest of things, but like I said, Said I would assume if the price gets above there, shorts are probably getting stopped out. That's just my guess. I don't know for sure. I'm going to delete that, Roger, just because I think that gives you my thoughts right there. I don't even want that name in here. That gives you my thoughts. Not that I have a full understanding, but from what I've heard... I guess, correct me if I'm wrong. From my understanding, it's like they're selling like systems and strategies and all that stuff. Isn't that what it is? Like, hey, they use this system, use this strategy. Isn't that what they're doing? But isn't that what the guy's doing? Isn't he selling like my system, my strategy? Like follow like this exact system, follow this exact strategy. Isn't that kind of what's going on there? Or do I have a false understanding? Oh no. Would they have survived? I think shorts would have survived based on where my guess is. Okay. All right. Shorts would have survived that. Maybe they're going to ultimately get paid here. Sometimes you got to weather some storms. Yeah. Okay. So from where my guess of where stop or shorts had their stops, they would have weathered that storm. They're not out of the woods yet because it hasn't even hit that yellow line. So I would also argue it's got to at least hit that yellow line for any sort of trade plan to actually even make sense. But I would say that they have survived. Okay, yeah, then I have the right understanding. Yes. Yeah, no, it's all anybody that is selling a system or a strategy or whatever. I mean, I it may work for him. Great, it may work for him, but you are not him. He is not you. Anybody that's being honest is going to tell you, "Hey, I can teach you tools, but it's going to be up to you to take these tools." And this is what my mentorship is. I will teach you the tools. I will teach you how to use the tools properly. However, it will be up to you to take these tools to build something that fits your personal risk tolerance, that fits your schedule, that fits your needs. I don't know what that is because we're two different people. We have two different risk tolerances. So yes, unfortunately, if my mentorship is not a magic pill where, okay, so I'm just going to follow that step by step and then I'm going to have a winning strategy. Nope. You got to put in a whole lot of blood, sweat, and tears. My job is to give you structured education, teach you the tools, how to use the tools, how they work, how to use them properly. But then, yeah, you have to take those to build yourself a strategy that fits your unique personal risk profile. So anybody out there that is selling a system, selling a strategy, hey, this is my strategy, so do this. Again, and I'm assuming that it even works for them. Whether or not it works for them, I mean, that's a whole other topic. But let's just concede it does work for them. That means nothing for you. So yes, I am always very leery of anybody that is just follow me and you'll be good to go. No, that's not how trading works. If only it were that easy. If only it were that easy. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess if that, and if people, yeah. I mean, there is a saying that there's a sucker born every minute, and if people are, well, I can't say I'm shocked, given that there are people that I think out there still believe that I run a penny stock shorting hedge fund, and when their penny stocks go down, it's Clay Trader's fault because it's him and his group that shorted their penny stock into the ground, and I'm not joking about that. In fact, just a few days ago, I was reading a mean tweets video I did from years ago, and these people, these people were savages to me, all because they thought I was the cause of their penny stock going down. So I can't say that, Roger. Now that I think about that, yeah, that's not shocking that people believe that, because I know what some of the people believe out there about about me. So yeah, the internet is there's some gullible people. I guess we'll just leave it at that. And hey, I'm sure I've believed some stupid things before. Well, I have believed some stupid things before, like a stainless steel muffler company was going to make me rich back in college. So I say none that's in judgment. I just say it in, hey, I've been there. But it is possible to believe some really stupid things. All right, shorts, you're still not quite out of the woods, but you're getting close to that target. And again, this is just the area that I would say might make sense to take some profits because I could see it bouncing from there. No guarantees it does, so that's why I'm not saying to, get out of your entire position. But, if you got 3 contracts, maybe take one off. Well, I mean, to be fair, I do use that as, I do tell people to use my code so my kids can eat. So, I mean, unless you use code Clay, you are in support of child starvation because I have 6 kids and my kids need to eat. So please use code Clay at Take Profit Trader or Apex. Use code Clay, please. If you do not use my code, it means you want children to starve. It's really as simple as that. I don't think there's any manipulation tactics in that. I'm not aware of any manipulation tactics in accusing you of being pro child starvation unless you use my code. No, I know, Ken. I'm just saying. To be fair, though, if you like and use, can you reset my account? No, this is a test. This is a test, Andrew. this was supposed to be, hey, if you like my work, would you then consider hiring me for other stuff? But actually, you know what, Andrew? No, I gave you the advice a couple days ago. Fiverr, Upwork, go do that. So no, don't do anything for me. I want you to go, if you want to prove yourself to me, go on Fiverr, go on Upwork, and build a portfolio there, and then I'll look at that portfolio. And also, yes, pay your sister back. So that's going to be our plan of action. I want you to build up a portfolio on Fiverr and Upwork that I can see. I know Fiverr and Upwork people will give you reviews and say what it's like to work with you. So you build that up, and I promise, and I am a man of my word, I promise I will seriously consider. But I want to look at I need to see a portfolio. I need to see what people that have worked with you have had to say. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm going to stay. I might be done for the day. My targets. Did you get paid yet, Evil Shaddix? Did you get your payout from Take Profit? What was it, like $500 or $600 a couple days ago? Man, that is dirty. Trading is so annoying sometimes. Again, I have no idea if this is where people's thing was, but that's where mine would have been. Oh, I'd be livid. So close to hitting that first target, and now it does this to them. Again, to be fair, my stop, probably been somewhere up around there, so I'd still be in, but I would be livid. Man, that's so frustrating when the market does that. Oh, so close to your profit, and nope, back up we go. It's hard to paper trade, honestly, in hindsight, right? Because in my mind, what I want to tell you, especially when you're on a live stream, is I want to just tell you all, oh yeah, I would have locked in profit like right where my crosshair is right there. Oh, how convenient, Clay. You basically pulled profit out at the bottom. But no, that's where it would have been. And awesome. Evil Shaddix, another student of the mentorship, getting paid. If you checked out my YouTube channel today on I don't know how that works, where you see the post, had another student get, I think, $750 in a payout from Take Profit Trader today. So yeah, today's one of those days I'm gonna be a little gutsy. Usually I don't talk about my mentorship much, but I'm going to, because we're getting students paid out all over the place. No, that's the wrong thing. And if you've been here, you know that I rarely ever talk about it unless somebody asks. But I'm gonna flat out talk about it. Like, let's go. We're getting students paid out all over the place today. Throw that link in the chat. There you go. No shame. Yeah, and it's not free. There you go. Oh, you're a scammer. You're not giving away all your time for free, you scammer. Yeah, okay. Go ahead. There you go. No shame. Too many students getting paid today from the prop firm world to not point that out. I'm doing well, Bart. How are you doing? Hopefully you're having a good day. I'm not in total panic mode, but I'm starting to get in panic mode. We're only at 71 likes, and we only basically have 30 minutes to go. So we either need $20 in super chats, or people need to start hit that like button, because it's looking like right now the interest is not quite where it needs to be. So if you are enjoying and you do want the stream to go beyond the 2-hour mark, we got to get this up to 100 likes. So I'm not going to say I'm in panic mode right now, but I'm sort of in panic mode because I really do enjoy this. I enjoy, and I think the proof is in the pudding. When I've had a couple, I think all the streams have been like 3.5 hours the past several days. So I really do enjoy it, but I do need to guard my time and make sure I'm not using my time where people are not actually interested. So if you are interested, again, the only way I know how to quantify interest is likes and super chats. So either $20 in super chats or getting this up to 100 likes by the 2-hour mark. So we got 31 minutes to get 23 likes. Like I said, I'm not in panic mode technically, but I'm getting close to panic mode. Students, Trahan, are you a professional? I don't understand it. It says this is not advice. Trahan, why are you yelling at me? Yes, correct. This is not advice. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. Yes, I have, there are people that sign up to learn to trade. And there are many of them that just today are talking about getting payouts that are my students. So what is your complaint, Trahan? What is your complaint? You also left me a comment yesterday that Well, okay, let me take a step back. Perhaps English is not your first language, because I'm not being a jerk. Your name is, but yesterday you were like saying all this stuff, and I'm not kidding with you, but like it was literally the exact opposite of what I had just explained. Which I don't know if you saw my reply to you. I'll bring it up if I can, because maybe you did not see it. To be fair to you, let's see if I can bring this up. Oh, that's why. Let's see if I can. I wasn't yelling. I was copying what you put in your window. No, you see, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. I'm not sure English is your first language, which is okay. So I'm trying to be. I don't want to just. Okay. So right here, why don't you trade in a regular account? If you're a profitable trader, doesn't that make more sense? So this is right here. If you're a profitable trader, doesn't that make more sense? And like because then you say, is that 2 accounts you lost today? So like when I was explaining all this, like the whole backbone of me explaining this was exactly why it makes sense. Why it makes sense to not be in a regular account. So that's why I said, as I showed in the live stream, my losses were 5,300. But did I actually lose anywhere close to that out of my own money? No. I'd go through and listen again. I'm not sure you got the core points I was explaining. So did you see that message, and did you go back and re-listen? Because like my mind was kind of like, how did you arrive at the conclusion that for you to say that doesn't make sense when I literally just showed, mathematically speaking, how it totally made sense and how it totally saved me from losing a whole lot of money. So, but again, like I said, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but like, is English not your first language? Do you use news or fundamentals? No, I use charts. I use technical chart. Whoa, nice move. But I do use the economic calendar to tell me when like speeches are coming or reports are coming out, stuff like that. But yeah, it's not like I'm digging through cash flow statements or anything like that. I understand perfectly, but you didn't show the trades you made that you lost 5,300 on a pay. Yeah, well, what does that have to do with me showing the trades? I explain exactly what happened. So Trahan, let me see if I understand what I think your argument is. Hey, if you're such a good trader, if you make so much money from trading, why do you have to have students? Why are you charging people? Why are you selling a course? Is that what you're actually getting at? Let's just cut to the chase. Is that the argument you're kind of trying to hint at? Again, hey, if you're a professional trader, if you're such a good trader, if you make so much money from trading, why do you got to sell a course? Why do you got to do that? Is that what you're trying to get at? Got all my stuff set up to start my test behind schedule because I'm unfortunate. Hey, Phil. Well, good. I'm glad. Hopefully those live events are all worked out. But good. I'm glad you're. Well, you know what? Behind schedule means you're still on a schedule, though, right? Some people don't even have a schedule because they have no goals, they have no priorities, so there's no schedule to even be behind on. But the mere fact that you're behind on a schedule at least reveals you have a schedule, you have plans. So good on you in that regard. Dude, Andrew, yeah, I know I'm not going to check my email because I already told you. I told you what the plan is. I told you what I'm comfortable with. Best friend. Oh, sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. Not at all. What I am saying is that you didn't show the trades that you made, whether you added to a losing trade or whether you were. But this is what's confused me. But I explained exactly what happened. There was that random news spike yesterday, right? When like China or whatever was supposed to be lightening up, and there was just a crazy spike. Like I explained that. And the other one, I also was like, I don't even really remember what I did because I was on tilt. Like I specifically remember what I said yesterday because I didn't give an explanation because I didn't have one. Because I don't even remember what I did because I was on tilt. Like it was like one of those out of body experiences. No, it doesn't matter. Maybe it matters to you, but like I explained exactly all of that. Exactly. Yeah, that's what makes me think that maybe English is not their first language. Like, thank you, Red Tiger. Like, it's almost a form of gaslighting. Like, he's making me think like I literally didn't explain what happened. He's like, you didn't explain what happened. It's like, no, did I show the exact trades? I didn't because it's irrelevant. The macro picture, I got stuck in a spike the wrong direction. And then we're going to say, well, so how does it make sense to use your own money? Because if you're using your own money and you get caught in the situation I was in yesterday, that would have been all my money gone. But yeah, thank you, Red Tiger. I was starting to feel a little bit like, am I being gaslighted here? Am I in Bizarro world? I could have sworn I went through a pretty detailed explanation of everything. And then why the prop firm was so beneficial. And then he's like, how does trading in a prop firm make sense? Yeah, I don't know. But thank you, Red Tiger. I was starting to enter into Bizarro world where I'm like, am I imagining things? Passed my first funded account today. Feels good. Good job, Bart. Very good job. What size account? Man, yeah, that was rough. Came down. Got oh so close. But like I said, I would have never have taken that anyway, just because I didn't like it when it was right here. I needed a little bit more of that bear pennant constructed, but if you did take it and you were, wanting it to come down a little bit more and you were not a scalper, yeah, it happens. It happens. Don't worry about it. Don't get too down on yourself. You'll be all right. Gasline. Typically, people who trade in prop firms have no funds to trade. It would seem that someone who has a substantial account would not be trading a prop firm. Right. It would seem that way, but your ignorance of prop firms is why it seems that way. So, Trahan, let me ask you this. Let's see if this brings it up. How do I have this money with 8,000 in it? Let's see. Let's see. All right, well, this is not working. Let's just go. Let's see. All right. Come on, there's something somewhere. Yeah, BK dot. It amazes me how, people it is clear that proper benefits on people paying for subscriptions in a pro account. The funds come directly out of the. Yeah, okay, Trahan. So you're one of these. Okay, so you have a problem that the prop firms make money. That's your problem. You don't like people making money, apparently. Like I'm gonna prove something. I'm trying to prove something to you about how your ignorance right now is off the charts, and how just a good life lesson would be to maybe learn more about things before you run your mouth. Because I get it. What seems like is just it's just not a good look. But I need to be able to back things up with math. Because again, I'm gonna steamroll your argument with math, but I can't find what I'd like to show you. There we go. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, Vivek, I will take a look in a minute. So right here. Okay, good, cool. You don't even have to see it. So right here on the screenshot itself. So right now, number one, this is not demo. Right here, contracts, you can see ARCA. Now, if you don't believe me that, oh, well, you say it's not demo, then all you have to do is go to Lightspeed, sign up for the demo account. And you will, and when you are in a demo account, you will notice that right there, that'll say demo. The fact that it says ARCA, that's showing how I'm routing the orders. So right here, so we'll just eliminate that because I know Tron's going to be like, well, that could have been a demo account. Okay, well, that's been alleviated. Next, we have a position of minus 4,000. We have the price of 62. So let's pull out a calculator because apparently the only way to like be a cool trader is like you have to use your own money and have big accounts. Okay, so we have, what would that be? 4,000 shares that I had short at what, 62. Okay, so I had $248,000 in that trade. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, like, so good. There, I'm a cool trader now, right? Because I was using my own money and I had a bunch in that trade. Like, am I now a cool trader? So isn't like that the cool thing to do? No, it's not, because this is the problem that you don't seem to understand. Is yesterday I got caught in a huge spike. And this was occurring on a 50,000 account. So I got, what does it matter for, okay, I tried, but Trahan is just he's either being a total troll or he doesn't have any, or he's just not willing to listen. Okay. There it is. So Trahan is gone. Okay, now I'll explain to, maybe some of you will still get it. So I was caught in a spike yesterday, and Trahan is like, well, you should be using your own money. Like, that's apparently what ballers do or something. It's like, okay, or you could do this. Or you could be in a prop firm where spikes happen. Sometimes you go on tilt and you just lose your mind and all that. But a spike happened yesterday. I think it was at like 9:39. Anybody that traded yesterday's morning, you remember the spike. It was totally random. It was some sort of news. And that account, and the thing is, I was so close to passing the test account to get myself another pro account. So that's what just sent me on tilt for the next part is just the ironic that I was so close to passing. But I was in the wrong side, and then the spike happened, and then boom, because the rule is you can't lose more than $2,000. If you lose more than $2,000, they'll take the account away from you. But, so if this was Trahan doing it, Trahan, would he have lost $2,000? Well, no. If he did the prop firm, he would have only lost the cost of the account, which was $119. But if Trahan was doing it with his own money and you get stuck in a spike like that, that is all $2,000 of his money, if not more, because this just stopped me right there because the account just shuts off. But if it's your real money, it's not going to shut off. But that spike was so big and violent that $2,000, again, if he's using what he thinks makes somebody like a real trader, if he was using his own real money for that $2,000 could have, again, if you don't believe me, go look at the spike. It was like 160 points in like 4 minutes. But that $2,000 could have gone to $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, just like that. To no fault of his own. He was just like I was, just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And it just that welcome to kind of the Trump era where you just get random headlines that can cause massive spikes. But in the prop firm world, and this is going back to Pam's plant, one of the great things is that added risk control. In this sense, how you protect your own money. Because again, for me, and if you're in yesterday's live stream, you see that after that experience, I went on tilt and I lost another account. So in total, I had lost $5,300. So it was just a disastrous day. But did I actually lose $5,300 of my own money? Now, Trahan would have. And in fact, it could have been even more because I went on tilt. But once you violate the rules, so I roasted another account, like the trade just stops. But if that's your own money, your broker will let it go more and more. Eventually, they'll margin call you and liquidate the account. And there are people that definitely got liquidated, in Trahan, what he feels as though is like a legitimate trader. So, yes, some of the traders that are way better than I am in my community. I mean, now they started off, as students, but I'm not an egomaniac. Like, many of my students now are way better traders than I am. They all do prop. They're the ones that convinced me. They're like, Clay, you should really do prop firms because it makes sense. You can protect your capital. Why are you risking your own? And because I'm a stubborn donkey, I resisted for so long. But like, I don't know where this thought process comes. Like, I get it. I'm a guy. I remember being in my 20s where like you think you're tough. You're a moron. Your testosterone, like, oh man, unless you're using real money, it's stupid. Well, there you go. As I showed you, at one point, I had $240,000 in a trade. Does that make me like a baller? No, that makes me a moron. Now, to be a little fair, that was before prop firms existed and all that sort of stuff. But if I was still doing that right now, I would be a total moron. Why would I be risking that much capital when I could just be putting myself in one of these situations where, again, worst case scenario, and again, it's it doesn't even necessarily have to be, well, I'm a super disciplined trader. I never go on tilt. I never break rules. Okay, fine, fair enough. But spikes happen. Crazy moves happen no matter what market you're in. And when those crazy moves happen, would you rather have it cost you $2,000 or maybe even more, or just the cost of the account, which in this situation would have been $119? I think most people would be like, I'd rather just lose $119 out of my pocket as opposed to $2,000, if not more. So the fact that he did not, and this is all, I apologize if you were here yesterday and you heard all this, it's a broken record. But to think that he heard all of what I just said, well, did what I say make sense? Give me a 1 of what I just explained. And be honest, give me a 1 if that all made sense. Give me a 2 if it did not make sense. I want to be fair. Of what I just explained there in terms of how the prop firm itself provided an insulation of risk management. Like, did explanation make sense? And I won't be mad if you give me a 2. That's fine. I just want to make a 0. I don't know what 0 means. Okay. So I gave that, and then he literally came back and says, well, why would it make any sense to trade a prop firm? So that's what put me, again, I want to be respectful. Okay, I get it. Sometimes people's English isn't your first language, but that didn't make sense, Jim. I don't know how else to explain it if it didn't make sense, but it makes me feel comfortable that I got a bunch of 1s before Jim's 2 showed up. But yeah. No, that's what I mean. That's why the whole prop firm model makes sense, because you'll eventually get paid. And BK Dot said it earlier. No, that's a different Jim. BK Dot said it very nicely earlier. I don't remember what he said. Oh, Vivek, I'll get your message. I apologize. Oh, maybe. Whatever you gave me was 47 cents. Just so you know, Vivek, in order to get an analysis, that's $5 USD. I saw 40. I don't know what that currency is, but now that I look, that was 47 cents. So yeah, my friend, thank you for the super chat, but it's $5 to get an analysis of something. $5 US, I should say. Oh yeah, BK Dot. We got people consistently taking out tens of thousands of dollars from these prop firm accounts. Exactly, BK Dot. Yes, yeah, Jim, I was trying to be respectful at first because maybe English was not his first language. But then he said, no, I understand perfectly fine. So at that moment, we have to go into he's either just trolling or he's just not even trying to understand. So yes, I was being respectful. Jim, I don't, to be fair to you, maybe you're not aware, but like people from around the world can log in. And like there's been many cases where English is not people's first language. Like this, I don't have any settings like this is only for English, like this is only for USA or Canadians. So yes, Jim, this is open to people around the world. So there is a very legitimate possibility that the person does not speak English. So that's why I didn't want to presume. And they had a name that made me think, okay, maybe they don't speak English as their first language. But yeah, then they claim they understood perfectly fine. Okay, so we've cleared that. They understand English perfectly. And so that's where we moved into that. But yeah, so you giving me a 2 sounds like you just didn't, it had nothing to do with whether or not it made sense. You just didn't like how I dealt with it, which is what I was not asking about. Well, okay, Jim. Okay, so you disagree. Tell me where Pam's plan is wrong. I would love to hear how Pam's plan is better than what you're doing. So explain that, Jim. That's what I like about Pam's plan, because I don't have to be like, well, we'll just have to agree to disagree on emotions. No, we'll disagree on math. So explain to me how Pam's plan does not make sense. I'd be happy to have that discussion. But right now, it seems as though you gave me a 2 because you did not like how I handled him. Good job, Nasir. Val, if you disagree, tell me what you disagree about. I've had plenty of people disagree. But most people are like, oh yeah, I guess that's a good point. Like I said, in the category of day trading, explain to me how using your own money makes more sense. Yeah, Jim. Yeah. I don't know if they were trolling, but they were. I will concede not being open and not trying to listen to what somebody else does not necessarily make you a troll. I'll concede. You're right. That's if I said that was trolling, I'll bring that back. That's not trolling. But it's somebody not worth my time. Like if you don't want to actually hear me out and listen to what I'm trying to say, then sure, that may not be trolling, but that's still not going to be a good use of time. So I will concede that. You're right. If I call that trolling, that's not necessarily trolling. Hey, we have 9 minutes to get 16 more likes. I don't know if we're going to make it here. If you are enjoying, hit that like button. We're approaching that upward trend line though. Make sure to hit that like. We got to get this up to 100. But now back to my question, Jim. You gave me a 2. So are you saying my explanation did not make sense? Or is that 2 just in regards to you not agreeing with how I did it? But the 1 or 2 was, hey, did my explanation make sense? Not how did you feel about how I dealt with it? Did it make sense? So did my explanation make sense about how a prop firm gives you that insulated risk control? Insulated protection against those crazy moves. Did that make sense how I explained that all? I don't think we're going to I don't know. This is, we are in risky territory here. Is this going to be the 2-hour stream? It'll be the first one in a while. Again, we got to get this up to 100 likes. Or, I guess, $20 in super chats. What trend line do I have? That trend line right there. There is the trend line that I have. 12 more likes. It's going to be close. I don't know. I'm officially in panic mode right now. Maybe somebody will show up with a $20 super chat to keep it going. But it's looking like I'm going to have a short day on the live stream today. 7 minutes, 11 more likes. Again, if you want the party to continue, hit that like button. If not, that's fine. We'll call it good. We are getting closer and closer to that trend line up there. Whoa, whoa, where did that come from? 6 more. We got to get 101. I always forgot about the JJ effect. Okay, I got some hope. 6 more likes in the next 6.5 minutes. And the party will continue. Okay. Again, Jim, what's so hard about people? I answered yours directly. I didn't ask about any of that. I said, did my explanation make sense? I didn't ask if you agreed with it or not. I just asked, did it make sense? See, that's a sign. Like, are you actually listening, or are you just like trying to force some sort of other agenda? That's what the other person was seemingly doing. I conceded. You know what? You're right. That probably wasn't trolling. I then asked you a very basic question, and then you give me all this other stuff that has nothing to do. I didn't ask if you agreed with it. I asked, did it make sense? Did the explanation, was it clear? Three more likes. Don't forget the $40 super chat you got. But as I explained, whatever currency that was, it wasn't $40. It was 47 cents. Again, I don't know what that was, but the exchange rate did not go so well. Right here. That's what because YouTube will convert it over 47 cents. I think you are just trying to get people agitated. I'm trying to, well, no, I'm trying to be spicy and telling people that they're wasting their time if they're day trading stocks, options, Forex, or crypto, Because they are, and I can mathematically prove it. So yeah, they're wasting their time. They're not using their capital efficiently. And sure, that'll agitate people, but I mean, I can back it up. That's why I like Pam's plan. It's mathematically, you can back it up. But then some people are like, well, I'm making money. Well, that's not my claim. My claim is you're not being as efficient as possible. You're not managing risk as best as you could. Oh, Jim. Jim's just trying to get people. Yeah, I know. Okay. So now Jim is going to be gone too, because if you've noticed, I've asked Jim a couple of times. I was like, hey, everybody, did that explanation make sense? Like, it just makes sense what I was trying to convey. Not whether do you agree with it or not, but did it make sense what I was trying to say? I asked Jim, hey, Jim gave me a 2, but then came to find out, well, he didn't like how I dealt with that other person. Okay, so that's why he gave me a 2. But then I asked, hey, Jim, well, could you tell me, did it at least make sense? And now then you saw his 2 answers, had nothing to do with whether or not it made sense. It's having him to argue with what I'm doing. I'm not asking what you're doing. I just asked a simple question. Did that make sense? So if you can't just answer a basic, then that tells me you're not being intellectually honest. You're like not trying to have a discussion. You're trying to force something into the conversation that I'm not even talking about. Like I'm not talking about whether or not you agreed. My only question was, hey, did that make sense? Because I had like 10 people say that made sense. Then you were the only person that said it didn't. So, wow, we need 3 more likes still. We only got 3 minutes. 3 more likes. 3 more likes to keep this party going. I am back in panic mode. Why not give you CFD account, which will give you one, because that's all your money, Assad. One bad trade and all your money is gone. Poof. Not so with a prop firm account. Two more likes. Let's keep this party going. Yeah, 500 leverage sounds like the worst idea ever. Exactly. And I'm going to explain that in just a second, but we've got to get up to, we need 2 more likes. 2 more likes, and we're going to keep the party going. Oh, we are at 103. New guy here. Can you explain what setup you're looking for to execute a trade? No, not really, because there's a bunch of setups that I kind of look for. Right, I guess I got to explain it here. Right now, I've been watching this upward trend line, and if the price gets up there, I might be looking for a short. All right, so somebody just said, well, you can do 500 to 1 leverage. Okay. So you also get leverage within a prop firm, just so you know. But so let's bring this over real quick so I can quickly say, why this is still just irrelevant. So you have, $500 and you're like, okay, I got $500. You then go and you're like, and I can get 500 to 1 leverage. Okay. So you then go and you make a trade with 500 to 1 leverage, which is just bonkers. All it takes is like a sneeze, just not even a sneeze, like a half sneeze with that sort of leverage. And that $500 gone. So you had $500 in your pocket, but you used it with that sort of leverage. And it was just, let's say you only use 50 to 1 leverage. Okay, that's still crazy. One little sneeze at 50 to 1 leverage, and boom, your entire $500 is gone. What about in a prop firm world? Well, in the prop firm world, it would cost you $105 to get $25,000 in purchasing power, which would allow you to buy up to 3 of very, very volatile contracts or 30 of the less volatile ones. And if you have any experience at all with futures, you know that 3 NQ contracts, gains can add up very, very quickly. Now, to be fair, losses can also add up very, very quickly. So let's just say that you get in and because you're new, something crazy happens, the market sneezes. Well, it's going to take more than a sneeze. So the market sneezes a big old sneeze and boom, you lose the account, meaning in this situation, you lose more than $1,500. So you failed the test phase, or even if you were in the pro account, they would take the account away from you. But what did it actually cost you? Well, again, under the premise, you're starting with $500. It would have cost you $105. But guess what? Look, it cost you $105, even though you lost the $1,500. Now, in the leverage situation that Assad is arguing for, his $500 is already gone. That entire amount is gone. But in this situation, yeah, you lost $1,500. Yeah, you lost the account, but you still got $395. Now, when you blow up an account, you can try again. But when you try again, at least with Take Profit Trader, it's only $100 to reset. So let's minus 100 again. He's still got $295. Something crazy happens, poof, $1,500 gone. All right, well, he lost the account again. Well, hey, he's still got $295 left. So he goes and resets the account. So let's minus 100. He's got the account back again. I don't know, something crazy happens, poof, goes on till something happens, boom, lose $1,500. All right, well, he lost the account. So he can get another one back for $100. Now let's say all of a sudden he puts himself together a run. He gets in a groove. He finds his strat. I mean, just something. But he finally goes in a groove. After all these failed attempts, he finally finds himself in a groove. And let's just say he makes $1,000. And then he goes and blows up the account again. So, but he got $1,000. So in prop firm lingo, he got $1,000 payout. So he's now got $1,000 that he has been paid. What was his total cost? Well, he had all in, what was that? $395. Let's just say he had in $500. So let's divide that by 500 minus 1 times 100. He had a 100% return still because he gave himself multiple opportunities to go from the test phase into the pro phase. And the pro is where you when you start to make that money, you keep the money. But because he didn't go and take that $500 and leverage it all with one trade that could have wiped it out everything by using the prop firm, as you saw, he gave himself many opportunities. Oh, he screwed up again. Another opportunity. Oh, he screwed up again. Another opportunity. He screwed up again. Another opportunity. Oh, finally, he found himself a groove, made $1,000, and then he lost it. He lost the account, but he got to keep the $1,000, which now means he's got $1,000 and he can recycle that $1,000 more. So he could take that $1,000, and at this point, now he's ahead. So he's got $1,000. So now he's going to get the account because again, it's only $100 to reset. But he does something stupid, loses another one. He does something stupid, loses another one. So he does something stupid, loses another one. Does something stupid, loses another one. But now all of a sudden he's in a groove. But on this groove, he actually got $2,000 in payouts before he blew up the account. Well, now let's add in plus $2,500. Now he's got $3,000 to work with. So he'll go again. All right. He gets another account for $100. And then he loses it because he's stupid. He loses it because he got caught in a spike. He loses it because he went on tilt. He loses it because he's just a moron. He loses it because Trump tweeted. He loses it because, he revenge traded. He loses it because he averaged down. He loses it because he forced trades. He lost it because he FOMO'd. But then he finds himself in a groove again. But this groove, you know what? He makes $2,500 before he loses the account again, plus $2,500. Do you see how things can work in your favor over time with a bunch of dumb things? But all you need is a groove here or there, But your money is growing. So, no, Assad, that makes 0 sense to take your own money and then go leverage it to the hilt because $500, you said 500 to 1. What? But even at 50 to 1, the market sneezes, poof, that 500 is gone. And you have nothing more to work with. But as I just demonstrated with the prop firm world, the power of Pam's plan. So why don't you use your own money? Because with your own money, poof, it could be gone like that. Where a prop firm, it gives you more time. It gives you more space. Does that make sense to anybody, or did I just waste like the past 5 minutes? Can you give me a 1 in the chat box of what I explained there? Does that make sense on why Assad and saying, well, why don't you just go use leverage with your own money? Does that make sense? Does that make sense on why prop firms literally make sense? Like, stop using your own money. Do that. Does that make sense? If it does, I might snip it and then make a video out of just that section because... All right, good. I'm glad that made sense. So go use your own money if you want to. My point is, it just doesn't make any sense. Because you're putting yourself at maximum risk exposure. One of those days where you lose your mind, or you go on tilt, or you revenge trade, you FOMO, just having a bad day. Most traders I've met, in fact, all traders I've met, including myself, they have bad days. Or sometimes you just get stuck in a crazy move. Would you rather have one of those crazy moves cost you $100, which is what I went through here, or would you rather have it cost you potentially thousands upon thousands of dollars? For me, I'd rather have those moves cost me $100 as opposed to potentially the thousands upon thousands of dollars. So I don't even know if Assad is still here. If he's not, he won't be around in the markets very long if he's going to go leverage $500 or whatever. I don't even know how much money he has, but at 500 to 1 leverage, what kind of scam operation is that? Holy smokes. Yes, Hamza, thank you for asking. However, it's the only reason I'm here. Good, Drew. Yeah, Hamza, that's the one thing about Take Profit Trader that and why I recommend them first and foremost. If you're not familiar with the prop firm space, some prop firms, and again, it doesn't make them a scam, but let's just say you make $3,000 or $7,000. You make $7,000. Some prop firms will be like, okay, yeah, you made $7,000, but you can only request that money every couple of weeks. And every couple of weeks, you're actually only allowed to request $2,000. Even though you made $7,500, you can only request $2,000. Now, they will pay you. Again, that does not make them a scam. It's just how some of the payment structures work. Whereas Take Profit Trader, the prop firm that I'm using to recommend, they say, well, once you start making money, you can request that money whenever you want and in whatever amount you want. So yes, Hamza was asking about daily payments. Yes, exactly. You could request money every single day if you wanted. So, yeah, exactly. Listen, the prop firms offer you plenty of leverage anyways. Because when you look at how fast contracts can move and how much money that can add up, it's like, wow, I can get that sort of movement for just a couple $100 or $100. The leverage is there. Man, that felt good. That felt good. Yeah, like force feds, KZ, just short of the top. It's easy, man. Just short the top. So we got close right there, but did not quite hit it. Yeah, Hamza. It's now Take Profit Trader is not always necessarily the cheapest up front. Now it's not like they're super expensive, but yeah, maybe you pay a little bit more up front, but what you're paying for is that flexibility of the payments and all of that. So and plus it's a very clean rule book, very straightforward. So if you are a beginner to the prop firm world, Take Profit Trader, definitely where to start. Once you get more advanced, once you kind of get a feeling for the different types of rules and how things operate, then yeah, I would say I have no problem if you venture to other prop firms. But as a beginner, if you use these other prop firms, that it's just going to get very overwhelming. It's almost going to feel like a scam. It's not a scam. You're just breaking their rules. Wait, that rule? What is that rule? Yeah, a lot of them. Some of them have a whole lot of rules. So. Now, is this so long right here? We have a bit of a kind of an ascending triangle here. If we use the 21 EMA as kind of the bottom part of the pattern, and then we use that, I don't know. Getting into a short soon. Oh, okay. Bart's like, no, I'm getting short. I'm sitting here talking long. Bart's thinking about going short. All right. Well, maybe I better. If Bart's getting short, I'm not sure I want to be getting long here. Prop firms are analogous to insurance for trading. The amount of buying power available versus the risk is unmatched. For 20% profit sharing, that's a bargain. Prove yourself and go. Exactly. And that's why, Drew, like, oh, so you're gonna just ban people that don't agree with you? It's like, no, I'm not banning them because I disagree. I'm banning because the way they're approaching the conversation is revealing to me that they're not listening, because I'm asking specific questions and then they're answering things that have nothing to do. But I think what you just said, Drew, I think they know that, but they don't want to admit that maybe what they're doing is not the most efficient way. But even that comment, somebody may be listening saying, well, I make this money. Well, that tells me you're not listening, because is any of the claims you can't make money day trading stocks or day trading options or that's not the claim. I'm not claiming you can't make money. I'm saying that is not the most efficient way. And I'll only speak for myself, but with whatever I'm doing, I want the most efficient way. I'm all about efficiency. Like, I'm kind of lazy. I don't want to, we all know the saying, right? Work smarter, not harder. I would rather work smarter, not harder. So it's not an argument of you can't make money outside of day trading futures. No, that's not what I'm just saying. It's most efficient. And Drew, in fact, I might have to can I screenshot that, Drew? That's a very good, another angle that you could look at it. So is it okay if I use that in the future, Drew? I got it screenshotted, but if not, that's fine too. Come on, Bart. I was thinking about going long, and you told me you were getting short, so I missed the long right there. Come on, Bart. And that's what I've learned since the live stream. You can tell when people are not actually listening. They're emotionally triggered because you said something that rubbed them the wrong way. So they automatically go to, yeah, but I make money, so therefore it works. Well, yeah, that's not the argument. The argument is you could be doing things in a more efficient way. So Tradeovate platform doesn't update live. How close I may be to my daily winning. Yeah, it updates live. Oh, no, you mean elusive lens. You mean take profit trader doesn't update. Yeah, well, Tradeovate down here tells you. You got to add in your positions. Right down here it tells you. So positions and accounts will tell you all that information, elusive lens. Use it. It's all yours. All right, thank you, Drew. Let's see. Actually, keep that stored right up here so I can use it. And there we go. There we go. Hey, Clay, I'm going to need you to start from the top. Oh, it's been a doozy. Whoa. Bart! You all heard me sitting here saying, oh, I drew the pattern. I drew the pattern here. I said, oh, that looks like a nice little wedge. And you're like, I'm getting short. Oh, my goodness, Bart. Oh, you just, oh, Bart. If you are enjoying, again, hit that like button. The goal is 125 likes. I think we got a great chance at it. We're at 109. Now, if we can push beyond 125, I'm not going to turn it down, but yeah, hit that like button if you're enjoying. Let's push this thing up to 125. Rainbow Keys, hello from the UK. Hello, good day, mate. Back in the green, thanks to that move. Great job, Mad Mac. Don't mean to be a dork, but I can't find where to add. Okay. 1 second here. 1 second here. Elusive lens. Your question is answered somewhere in this video. I don't remember where. It's a longer video, so just bookmark it for later. Looking like a textbook bull pennant. Yeah, no, like I said, that was a good setup, but Bart scared me out of it. I don't mean to be looking like that. Give an option to make 1,000 today. Give an option to make 1,000 today. Bruno, what are you saying? What are you asking? You want me to give you an alert that will make you $1,000? Is that what you're saying, Bruno? Bruno, you want an alert to make you $1,000. Is that what you're saying? Yes. Bruno, can I ask you a question? Why are you being so lazy? Second question, do you actually think trading is as easy as doing what you're doing? Do you honestly think that making $1,000 in the real world is doing what you're doing right now? Do you really think life is that easy? There we got the pullback right to the 21 EMA, but this is a pretty big pullback. Is life, so here's the, here's kind of the philosophical question for the day. Is life as easy as going on a live stream and saying, hey, give me a signal to make me $1,000? Is life that easy? We're all going to go in our Aristotle mode. We're all going to be our best Socrates. Is life really that easy? Hey, live streamer, give me a signal. Give me an alert right now that's going to make me $1,000. Is life actually that easy? Bruno, I would submit to you. I don't know. Bruno may have left. I don't know. But Bruno, if you're still here, you got to do better than that, my friend. Not trying to be a jerk, but I am going to tell you the truth. You're being lazy, and that mentality is going to have your account be to zero before you know it. Life takes a little bit more than that, my friend. Takes a little bit more than that. Unfortunately, I wish it were that easy. I really do. Mark, you got to start alerting stuff before it all right, maybe I'm sick of Mark. He's starting to become an armchair quarterback here. Yeah, nothing. You didn't give us any heads up. I don't want to hear about it from here on out, Mark, until you got to tell us beforehand. Well, I want to make 6,000, so tell me beforehand what you're doing. I have an alert I will sell you. It is 100% accurate 50% of the time. All right, so I'm assuming that what was his name? Bruno is gone already. Yeah, Mark, you need to stop saying that. Like, nobody believes you. I mean, as a trader, I would say, and I'm talking to myself, never tell people I'm done, because odds are you're not done, and then you kind of make a mockery of it all. I'm just as guilty. I'm done for the day, and then you make like 37 more trades. Just as a trader, stop telling other people you're done for the day, because you're not. No, I don't believe you at all, Mark, and you know I have every shred of credibility. You know I have every shred of reasoning to not believe you. Oh, it's so sad that, like, yeah, I don't know. Hey man, I need to make $1,000. Give me a signal real quick. Dang, man, that's how easy life is, huh? Just show up, ask for a signal, and somebody would give it. Are we getting? I guess you could maybe argue, kind of, sort of, I might be fitting a square peg through a round hole. Are we getting the makings of another rising wedge pattern, which is a bearish pattern? I will take it short, but not on this candle. If it wants to come down here, build out a little miniature bear pennant, and then go, I'll take it. But if it wants to drop all the way down on this particular candle and break it, I don't like the risk profile on that. But if it wants to, like I said, come down, build out a little bit, and then make a move down, I'd be interested. Got to think one of these 30-minute candles goes red. I haven't been looking at the 30-minute chart, but I hear you. All I will say is that can be a thought process that lands you in a lot of pain. All right, good. I like this. We're getting a stop define at 260 right here. But again, I would like for a couple more candles, which will bring up my entry point more, and by doing so will shrink up the risk profile there. The signal is no more trading for today. We're at heavy resistance, no sign of sellers. The signal is no more trading for today. We're at a heavy resistance. Okay, yeah, I think that's like that statement makes, we're at a heavy resistance. Well, if we're at a heavy resistance, then there would be sellers, right? Because the sellers are what's creating the heavy resistance. I don't, BK. Your statement does not make sense. You claim we're at a heavy resistance, but then you say there's no sign of sellers. Well, then it's not a heavy resistance, is it? That seems like a contradiction of terms. We're at a heavy resistance. No sign of sellers. But you just said we're at a heavy resistance. So yeah, I don't understand what you're saying there. Because if there's no sign of sellers, then as far as the way my mind works, then therefore we're not at a heavy resistance. Yeah, no, I'm like, maybe I'm not reading it right. I'm definitely reading it right. We're at heavy resistance. No sign of sellers. Yeah, that's a head scratcher. You basically just called yourself a married bachelor or a square circle. I don't know. Am I crazy to think maybe the play here is long up through 260? BK Dot, do you see the confusion in your statement? You said you called something a heavy resistance, and then you said there's no sign of sellers. Well, then how is it a heavy resistance if there's no sign of sellers? That's true. I'm a little behind the times, Mad Mac. That is true. Define short. Here comes 1920. Maybe. Yeah, what would that risk? So basically 40 up to, that's still 20 points. That's not terrible. Let's see if we can get one more candle. One more candle. But it's a double whammy of support right now. You have the 21 EMA and that trend line. Basically, look, they're essentially overlapping one another. So, I mean, if the price can push down through there, I could see it picking up some downside pressure. But like I said, I want to see at least one more candle here and then see if we can get it to push down through. I don't see no momentum. So you do see momentum. I'm selling. It just keeps. Okay, I don't know. So you see momentum, or I don't see no momentum. So that means you see momentum. Okay, that's fine if it just keeps going up. Then why are you calling anything a heavy resistance? That's what's throwing me off. To call something a heavy resistance and then say, but there's no sellers, then how could it be a heavy resistance if there's no sellers? When sellers create the resistance. Like, I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I'm just trying to understand, what are you saying? Okay, Tony is just trolling now. Well, yeah, I mean, you clearly don't you clearly don't believe that. So you're all in, Tony? Mortgage your house, everything, you're all in short? Everything's short, huh? Your entire account is short right now? Okay, where's your stop at? Tony is apparently all in short. Everything they own, short. Where's your stop at? Why do you have a stop? You just proved yourself. Haha, sucker. Why do you have a stop? Why are you using a stop, Tony? Why? Why do you have a stop? You just got had, Tony. You just got had. It's 100% guaranteed gonna go do that, but I have a stop. Wait, why? You just said it was 100% guaranteed to happen. What do you need a stop for? Why? No, you shouldn't always have a stop. If something is 100% guaranteed to happen, why would you need a stop? Answer that for me, Tony. Your words, not mine. Tony, see, this is why I called you a troll, and you're proven to be. You said it is... Here comes 19,220, 100% guaranteed. And then you're using a stop. Why? If it's 100% guaranteed to happen, then why are you using a stop? Answer that for me. That makes zero sense. You're the one that said it was 100% guaranteed to happen. So if it's, all you had to say was it's 99.9% guaranteed to happen, then that would make sense why you would be using a stop. But you said it was 100% guaranteed to happen. So why in the world do you have a stop in there? Oh, some people, they just don't think through. They don't think through logic. So, no, I'm not. I'm asking you questions. Notice how Tony has to now attack me. The ad hominem fallacy. Watch and learn. What does that have to do with anything that I'm asking you? Maybe then you won't be begging for $5 sats in marketing prop firms. Okay, I'm not sure what. Okay, ad hominem. Notice that Tony is no longer addressing my question. I'm just saying, you're the one that said 100% guaranteed, and then you're using a stop loss. So my question, why are you using a stop loss on something that you told me is 100% guaranteed? Why are you attacking me all of a sudden and certain these other things? That's not part of the line of questioning. Yeah, you're attacking. Do you know what the ad hominem fallacy is? You're not attacking the questioning, you're attacking the person, like you're addressing. Okay, I'm sorry you don't like the word. I professional trader. I want to be asking such ridiculous. Okay. Here we go. Now we got Tony, professional trader. Things are 100% guaranteed to happen, yet they still use a stop. Yes, I'm sure you're a professional trader, Tony. I'm sure you are. Uh-huh. We all know that you don't believe that it's 100% guaranteed to happen. And my proof that you just lied to us about it being 100% guaranteed to happen is the fact that you're using a stop. Why did you lie to us, Tony? That's my question. Why are you lying? You don't believe that it's 100% guaranteed going to happen. So why did you lie to us? Why did you say it was 100% guaranteed? No, that's not my question. Why did you tell us that something's 100% guaranteed and then go and use a stop? Oh, see, logic. It's a bugger. Logic is a bugger. All you had to say, Tony, was there's a 99.9% chance it'll go down there. Then it would make perfect sense. Why are you using a stop? Because I never claimed it was 100% going to happen. Therefore, I need a stop because it might not happen. But you said 100%, Tony. $19,260, definitely a stubborn area of resistance. If it can get up through there, you got to think it makes a pop now. So this is I'm going my Babe Ruth. I'm going to call the shot. If it comes up and hits 270, which is what Tony said the stop was, we won't hear from Tony. Tony will be gone. We won't hear from him. If it does go down and hit here, he's going to say, see, I told you. That's how this is going to go. So this is this line here, right? Let's add in the we won't hear from Tony line. Okay. There we go. Okay. So this is the we won't hear from Tony line because that's his stop. So if it hits there, he'll be gone. We will hear from Tony and hear about how great he is and how smart he is if it does hit right here, which is where he said it's 100% guaranteed to happen. So this is the Tony will run his mouth way more line. So we will see what we're going to get from Tony. Either we're not going to hear from Tony or he's going to be, I told you, 100% guaranteed to happen. Okay. There we go. Let's see what happens. Tony, I'm with you. I'm short. I think it goes down to 19,220. I'm with you, sir. But I'm not the one that's going to say it's 100% guaranteed to happen, because I don't think that. I don't believe that. And you don't either. That's why you put in the stop loss. So I don't know what like, that you think that like makes you like look good? Like it's 100% guaranteed to happen? Like you should have lied. You should have been like, I'm all in and no stop loss. Why do I need a stop loss? It's 100% guaranteed to happen. There would have been like, wow, all right, here we go. But your whole belief system fell apart when you said you're using a stop loss with something that is 100% guaranteed to happen. But I'm with you, Tony. I think the price is going to head down there. If you do not remember, I was looking at this as a rising wedge and thinking that trend line break could get it to roll over. So I'm with you, but I'm not gonna sit here and like try to act like feed my ego and be like, and it's 100% guaranteed to happen. Tony got, well, I mean, do you notice the projecting? Your logic is non-existent, says the guy making the contradiction of logic. It's amazing. It's amazing. The guilty conscience. The guilty conscience. You have no logic. No, you're the one with no logic, my friend. Here we go. Get ready. Tony is his ego is gonna explode in the chat room. Almost there. Good call, Tony. We look forward to your next guaranteed trade. Please let us know, because you are, I guess, you are just, you're a psychic. So we look forward to your next 100% guaranteed trade that you still do use a stop loss on for some reason. I'm not quite sure how that works, but hey, you know what? You lucked out on that one. Yeah. The candle whisperer. Okay, Tony, you let us know when the next 100% guaranteed trade is coming, and got to let us know before it happens, though. You're 1 for 1 on your 100% guarantees that for some reason you used a stop loss on, but we'll just shove that fact behind. I mean, an absolutely terrible stop loss, too. That makes no sense up there. But, hey, you know what? Uh-huh, Tony. Uh-huh. At the 21 EMA on the 5-minute, but it's kind of pushing down through there a little bit. ES is right at the 50 period. Do we get a bounce from there? We shall see. I think Tony's a market maker. I think Tony is not a human. I think he's an algorithm. That's how he knew. He knew, but not enough to trust what he knew, because he had to use a stop loss. Or Eva, are you being a guppy right now, or are you actually thinking that he knew? Like, are you just messing with him? Or are you asking him like, wait, man, how did you know? Yeah, you putting your stop in front of resistance levels doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Tony, we were on the same page. Like, I literally mapped all that out. It didn't break in the fashion I wanted it to break, which, I mean, I explained. We were on this. My only thing is, like, No, it was not 100% guaranteed, and you didn't believe that it was 100% guaranteed. And I exposed the fact that you didn't believe it was 100% guaranteed because you used a stop. That's all I'm pointing out. Is don't try to act like a tough guy, because you were not a tough guy. You were not. You lied to us. You said something was 100% guaranteed to happen, yet you were still using a stop loss. Which any trader would know, well, there's no need for a stop loss. If something is guaranteed to go down, then why would you use a stop? That's all I'm pointing out. We were on the same page. Good call. I made the same call. But you know full well, deep down, it was not 100% guaranteed. And you prove that to us by the fact that, and good job. I'm glad you're using a stop. You should be using a stop because, as you know, despite what you said, there are no 100% guarantees. Oh, now it's your conviction was 100%. Now you've just shifted the argument a little bit. Okay, well, if that's what you meant, then good job having 100% conviction. Fair enough. I'll accept that at face value. That's what you actually meant. Your conviction was 100%. All right, well, that's different then. If that is what you meant, then fair enough. Good call. Good job with your conviction. You were right to be at 100% conviction. So fair enough. That changes things up if that's what you meant. No, I'm just taking people at face value. I'm not sure that I can like if you can't put yourself in my shoes and understand why you thought or why I was thinking the way I was, then I would submit to you that you're not being totally intellectually honest. But if I put myself in your shoes and you meant 100% conviction, then okay, fine. I misread. I now see what you're saying and I can see how it makes sense. But see, I'm being honest and putting myself in your shoes. But you, like I said, if you can't do the same for me, be like, okay, Clay, yeah, fair enough. I didn't really make it clear that I meant 100% conviction. So yeah, I can see how you would think that. Well, then you're not really having a conversation in good faith. What does you being over 60 have to do with anything? What? Yes, exactly. See, I mean, that's what I mean. Oh, all right. I apologize, Tony. Yep. That is on me. You're right. All right. That makes sense, Tony. I do apologize. Yep. I missed that. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. No, I did miss that. Yep. You're good. You're good. Or I don't think you're following the conversation. Tony did not speak very clearly. He had me thinking another way. After he clarified himself, that's fine, but he's not willing to extend the same courtesy to me. I know what it's just, but it is what it is. But you also have a good day, Tony. Take care. Good trade. Congrats on the trade. Good job with the 100% conviction. This intraday trailing stop is giving me anxiety. Everything I'm reading about. Well, stop. Just go and trade and just move your stop loss up as you go. My guys on the yeah. You know, by definition, if you're going to defend a position, that puts you on the defense. That's for sure. Just logged out. Going to take this profit for today. Good job. How much profit do you have, Evil Shaddix? If you are enjoying, somebody said this is like watching Flintstones. So if you like the Flintstones, hit that like button. Made about 600. Okay, so Evil Shaddix, the question: Are you going to leave that in to build buffer, or are you going to pay yourself? Going to take out 5. Okay, so just leave a little bit more in for the buffer, build it up as you go. I can see that makes sense. Good job, Evil Shaddix. Again, I'm not going to be shameful of it. A student of the program. Getting paid. Whatever. My brother got 100% conviction too. He just got... we are right at that level. Breaking 262 this time? I don't know. Tony the Trading Tiger. He is. Society, it's so weird. Like I'm not doing a perfect job at it. I'll admit that. But like I'm trying to like if I mess up, if I don't speak right, or if somebody else wasn't speaking right, I'm trying to just give them the benefit of the doubt. But I like I said, I was following Tony's line of logic as best as I understood it. It appeared to me like he said it's 100% going to happen. And then, of course, he had to stop. And then he later clarified, oh, no, I meant I had 100% conviction. Okay, fair enough. But then when I asked, well, can you at least see how, if you put yourself in my shoes, like how I would have misunderstood? You know, I'm just trying to agree on good terms. Like, hey, man, all good. We were just kind of talking past one another. But it's just, like I said, I'm like a hidden goal is maybe try to prove to society, like it's still possible to, you know, maybe have a little back and forth, but then have it resolve as, oh, we actually were, yeah, all right, I see where you're coming from. And I can see why you thought, why you were thinking the way you were based on what I had said. But, well, then again, if Tony's over 60, he's probably pretty stuck in his ways. So I don't know. Maybe once you get at a certain age, you're not going to be able to do that skill. That's obviously totally a working thesis on my end. Yeah, I was just worried about you, Areva, because it seemed like you genuinely thought like he knew like that was going to happen. Like that's what it was coming across of. So that's why I was like, wait a second. Like you realize that he didn't actually know that was going to happen. So that's why I was asking you, because I didn't want you to, you know, to think that, you know, something is, you know, that you could look at a situation and say, you know what, it's 100% guaranteed to go to that area. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I don't know. Maybe I'm talking like Tony's a guy and it's actually a woman. That's fair. I'm not sure. Fair point, Force Fed. But I think Tony is gone. My brother's a chemist. Never went to school for it or anything. Just gifted, I guess. I've noticed though. All his friends. Oh, Emmy is full of jokes today. I'll go a little bit beyond 3 hours today if we want, if there's interest. But I do want to get up to the goal today of 125. So if there are, well, we got to factor in JJ. So if there's 7 more likes out there, if we can get those in the next 17 minutes, I'll take this beyond the 3 hour mark. But like I said, I want to make sure that there is still interest. So if you have not hit the like button, but you're enjoying, please do so. Let's get this up to 126 likes, and we'll keep the party going. What indicators do you have? Are you talking to me, Noah? No, man, you're not new here. Are you talking to me? Maybe you're asking somebody else in the chat room. Come on, man. Just to clarify, are you saying there is no logic? No, what I'm saying is you asked him, hey, how did you know that? So it came across as like, wait, how did you know that was 100% going to happen? It seemed as though that's what you thought. And what I just wanted to make sure you realize is, hey, no, he did not know that was going to happen, like for sure. No, there. Like I said, I was in agreement. I was bearish too. So there was logic, but you just made it seem like, man, how did you know that was going to happen? That's why I took your question. That's why I was like, wait a second. He didn't actually know that was going to happen. None of us know what's going to happen. Sorry, just doing a little, as we wait here, just doing a little. Hey, we need 3 more likes. We got 14 minutes to get 3 more likes. I think we'll be able to do it. Overnight low and all-time high indicate. I'm wondering. Okay, well, what are you wondering about them? Do you just buy at a seemingly random point and then just put your stop loss, or do you set your first willing stop loss as your first entry as marking condition you start? I'm not sure what you're asking there, Gredneck. I don't know what you mean by first quote unquote willing stop loss. Hey, there we are, up over 125. Good stuff. I may be done for the day. $1,113 yesterday. Good job. So elusive lens, do you still feel like you've been like you felt yesterday? As a former day trader of stocks and options, would you still say that day trading futures is way better? Well, the beautiful back test right off that area. A 1,000 times. Love it. Love it. So yes, this right here does rub people the wrong way. When I say if you are day trading stocks or options, you are wasting your time. You're going about things not efficiently, and you're putting yourself at way more risk than you actually need to. You're maybe hamstringing yourself and not being able to trade as much as you want because of the pattern day trader rule. And Elusive Lens, who's in the chat right now, as I just asked them, hey, you decided to ditch day trading options, day trading stocks to try Pam's plan here. How do you feel about it? You still think it's better? And he just replied back 1,000 times. So there it is. There is power in Pam's plan. – 100% convicted to short. There we go. What platform is this? Well, I am doing 2 things. I am using, first off, a prop firm. So we're looking at futures. So the way it would work if you want to use kind of my setup is the first thing, if you go to Take Profit Trader, which is the link that you see on the screen, or it's pinned in the chat box there, you would select what sort of purchasing power do you want. And then during the checkout process, they would ask you, well, what platform do you want to use? And the one that you see on the screen is Tradeovate. But the nice thing here is that the prop firm itself will create that account for you. So you do not need to go to Tradeovate, create a new account or anything like that, go through that headache. Take Profit Trader will do it for you. So that is the account that is being used. When you start day trading on a day, do you just jump in at current market? No, I never just jump in. Yeah, I try to let things develop, look for patterns, look for risk versus reward profiles that make sense. But no, I do not, quote unquote, just jump in. Would I be able to use a simulator account? Yeah, Tradeovate does offer a 2-week simulator. Man, no downs. Yeah, crazy. What do you think about trading bots? I think if you buy a trading bot, you're a sucker. If you are like a coding genius and you have a strategy and you create the bot itself, okay, I'm open to the idea. But people that are selling bots, I assure you, if they had a bot that like really worked, they would not be wanting to sell that thing. Well, Clay, don't you do the same thing? You're selling a class. If you have secrets, why would you sell them? Because I'm not selling secrets. I'm not selling a strategy. I'm not selling a system. I'm selling information in a package that's going to make sense to learn about. And as I said earlier in the live stream, I am selling the tools, how to use the tools. But guess what? You still got to put in the time and effort and work to take these tools and use them to build something that works for you. So yeah, not quite the apples to apples comparison. So that's what I think about trading bots. If you're thinking of buying one or buying the indicator or I promise you, if that indicator, or that bot, or that algorithm, or whatever somebody's selling you was as good as that person says, they would be just letting that thing do its thing and raking in the dollars. Where would be a good, reliable place to keep on top of news? I mean, just any. Well, just an economic calendar is going to be where the news that really matters are the economic calendar. So, and you can just run a Google search for economic calendar. That will tell you all the speeches and economic reports that are coming out for the day, what time they're going to be released. And you do need to know that. But as far as anything else, I mean, I don't really care what the news is. Like right here, let's just say that this is news driven. Do you really need to know what the news was? I don't. I would just know. Okay, whatever news just came out. Apparently, the market liked the news because it just went up. But I'm not very good at reading a news release and then being like, okay, I think the market is gonna not like that, so it's gonna go down. Like I'm terrible at that. In fact, it was just when did Tesla have earnings? It was amazing. You read the earnings headline about Tesla, and the revenue was that I don't know, it was like crazy bad numbers, and I'm like, oh man, how bad is Tesla gapping down right now? And then I look, and it's actually gapped up. So I don't know. Some people strong suit, maybe they can like read news and then know exactly what the market's going to think about it. I'm not very good at that. I'd rather just trade the chart. Last night wasn't it? Well, whenever Tesla's earnings was. I remember distinctly reading the headline and saying, okay, because I love to play the game with myself. Before I click on the stock or, where do I think it's going to be based on this news? And I was like, oh man, Tesla must be getting hammered right now. Nope, the stock was up. It's like, yeah, that's why I don't trade news. I just trade the chart. Who gave me permission? I know. Sorry. I know. I did not have permission. Do you mark your chart when there is going to be important news so you aren't? No. Usually important news happens. So memorize these times. 8:30 a.m. Eastern, 9:45 a.m. Eastern, 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern. If you just kind of get in the habit of not being in trades at those times, you're good. Now, you still want to check it. Sometimes there might be something at 2 o'clock or something, but those 3 times, just kind of get in the habit. So I'm going through the sign-up process, and to the billing portion. It says you will be billed every 30 days. So if I fail to move onto the pro account, I'll be charged at $250. But will I be charged again if I do? So no, you will not be. If you do move to the pro account, you will not be charged. But if you fail the test phase and then you're like, now I'm done, all you got to do is disable the subscription, and it won't renew on you or anything like that. So that is why I say just make sure you get through the test in the first 30 days. So you don't have to worry about that at all. But yes, once you move to the pro account, that account is disabled. So it's not going to charge you anymore per month. Do I have to pay to move to pro account? You do not. Not right now. That's what makes this a good deal. Because right now the current deal is, and this is the same for all prop firms. So I don't want to say like this is something unique but so prop firms have, they'll call it a test phase, a combine. They'll call it something, but whatever they call it, you first got to be able to pass the test, prove yourself, show them that you know what you're doing. And then that's where they allow you to move into the pro account. But I think all of them, as far as I'm aware, have something here that's called an activation fee. And normally, Take Profit Trader charges you $130 to make that jump from the test to the pro, in other words, to activate your pro account. Right now, if you use the code Clay, it is $0 to do that. So not only is it 30% off the code or the accounts right here anyways, but you don't have that activation fee. So all in, literally all in, you could be in for this account, 105. Or if you do that on the other end of things, the 150K account, you could be all in for $250. So it's definitely a very, very good deal out there right now. Even when the activation fee is still there, usually they'll knock down these percentages, or they'll raise these percentages up a little bit. But then you have, so maybe it's like 50% off here, but then you have the activation fee. So they're all essentially going to be the same deal one way or the other. But I think this has been the best deal, and it's like actually a little bit 20 extra. I don't remember what the math is, but yeah, right now that fee does not exist. So it's a very good deal from that point. I use code Clay, so yeah, exactly. You'll be good. There are some prop firms on promos that don't have activation fees. No activation fees are awesome. Yeah, no activation fees are very good. Yeah, and prop firms are always changing around. But like I was saying earlier, I just like Take Profit Trader because of their payment structure. Other prop firms does not make them a scam, but if you make $5,000, then other prop firms will be like, well, yeah, you made that money, but you can only request money every couple of weeks. And when you can request it, we know you made $5,000, but you're actually only able to request $2,000 for now. And then you got to wait another 2 weeks to request another $2,000 or something like that. Whereas Take Profit Trader, they're like, oh, if you made $5,000, you can request anytime you want, and you can request that entire $5,000 if you want it. So that's why, yeah, maybe Take Profit Trader is not absolutely the bare bones cheapest upfront, but the flexibility you get on the back end, I think is, for me at least, I think that's well worth it. And also SM, when you're not sure about what news you're allowed to trade or not, Take Profit Trader, and that's only the pro accounts, but they will email you every morning like, hey, at this time, you're not allowed to be in the market at that moment. So is this thing getting ready to potentially come back up here? Out of curiosity, because this would be an area to put on a trade, has anybody here never even seen futures trading before? If so, hit the number 5 in the chat box. Either you've never heard of futures trading, or maybe you have heard of it, but you've actually never seen a futures trade in action. Hit that 5. Is there anybody like that? Because I can see a trade here that would make sense to help illustrate this example. But if nobody here is, if everybody here is like, no, I've seen futures before. Oh, okay, all right. So one of the arguments here of Pam's plan is movement, how well they move, but more importantly, the ability to control it. So let me show you the bare minimum of movement that you could expect. So what I'm going to do here is just get one. So, let's get over the MNQ. I'm going to get, so what I want you to watch is this number right here. And just ask yourself, how do you feel about how it's moving, okay? And if you're like, Clay, that's the slowest thing ever, why would you bother? I understand, but I'm going to show you Pam's plant, the ability to control it. So, come on, fill me now. Okay. So watch this number right here, because this is the bare minimum of movement that you could expect. Again, if you're like, what is the point? Like, why would you? Totally fine. Totally fine. All right, let's make sure this is a winning trade. So let me get this into green territory. So now this will be a winning trade no matter what. I'm going to move up my stop as it goes. Again, just keep watching that number. Keep watching that number. See if it wants to push up some more. There we go. Let me move up my stop some more. Very good. Be great if it could push up through that purple line. If it can push up through the purple line, I'll move my stop loss up again. Come on, push up through there. There we go. Whoops. There we go. Work for me. Work for me. Work for me. Do your thing. Why did I only go with one? Work for me. Work for me. Come on, keep pushing. You're my boy, Cletus. You're my boy. That's a Cletus song. It helps. If you sing it when you're in a trade, it helps. Come on, keep pushing for me. Keep pushing for me. Again, watch that number. Ask yourself how you feeling about how it's fluctuating. Come on, push up some more. Come on, push up, push up. You can do it, Billy. All right. So, that number right there. How did you feel about it? Did you think it was a little too slow? Especially when I first got in and it was like $3, $5, $2.50, $7. It's like, okay, what's the point? All right. So here is the absolute beautiful thing. I did that very intentionally. That was twofold. One, it was the less volatile of contracts. This was MNQ. Now, and this is what I would recommend you start with. Now, NQ, the big brother, this thing is a volatile monster. And that would have been, like a $600 trade or something like that on the NQ. But anyways, besides the point. So that was on the MNQ, which again is the less volatile of your two choices. And on top of that, that was only one contract because in the world of futures, you trade contracts. So that was literally the bare minimum of movement that you could potentially get. Now, if you're saying, well, Clay, that was not very impressive. Okay, fair enough. So this is where we move to the ability to control it. Now, you may be saying right now, well, Clay, you can do the same thing in stocks because if you want more movement, well, then yeah, of course, you just add more position size. Yes, but in stocks, what does that take? Well, you better have more money because you have to buy more shares. That's going to literally require more money out of your pocket. So with that in mind, let's take a look at Pam's plant. And again, this is the bare minimum. So remember, one MNQ contract, the MNQ being the less volatile ones, and only one of them. Whereas if you went through now a prop firm and had $105, you could get $25,000 of purchasing power. What does that give you? Like I said, you saw all that movement was based on one MNQ. With this size account, you could have changed that number one up as high as 30. But now maybe you're saying, well, Clay, I still don't think that would give me enough movement. Okay, well, let's go to the other end of the spectrum. So with 150,000 purchasing power, so if you have $252, that number that you saw is the one, you could have increased that as high as 150 at no extra cost. Again, you can increase position size if you're in, trading stocks or options, because you can always buy more contracts. You can always buy more shares. In crypto, you could buy more coins. But all those things require more money out of your pocket. Not so here. It's just $252. So you could have started that trade at one, and then you could have added another one, and added another one, and added another one. So in a sense, yes, you're buying more, but is it actually requiring more money out of your pocket? No, it's just $252. So that's the big separator. Yes, to be fair, you can increase position size, day trading other things. But to increase position size outside of a prop firm, that is requiring more money out of your pocket so you can buy more. Not so here. So that is the power of the prop firm. That movement that you saw, I'm not offended at all. If you thought that was a little bit too slow and you didn't quite see the logic, not a big deal at all. Again, just the introductory one, that number one that you saw could have been taken as high as 30. So I hope that explains a little bit more of the power of Pam's plan and just not only the movement, but more importantly, and this is again where the prop firm comes into play, the ability to control it. If it's not quite volatile enough for you, all right, just add a little bit more position size. It's not going to cost you any more money through the prop firm, that is. So I hope that makes sense to people. And that was a fun trade. That was a fun trade to get in there. So I am now 2 for 4 on the day, on the live stream trades, that is, and looking pretty good. Let's see. I gotta catch up now. Does CBT have end of day? It's end of Alfredo. It's end of day during test phase test, and then intraday during the pro account. But once you hit your buffer, it stops trailing, and then you can build that buffer as much as you want. How did I lose a like? That was a nice trade. I thought that was a pretty coherent explanation, and then somebody took the... Can we get this up to 130 likes? Let's make a run to 135. That would be great. That would make me feel like a good success. Could we? If you have not hit the like button, if you enjoyed that trade, if maybe you enjoyed learning a little bit more about futures and Pam's plan and how maybe within your day trading you could be doing something differently, then please hit that like button. Do you teach the Cletus song in your training? Yes, ForceFed, of course. Just evangelize one of my teens on the Pam's plant, not Pam's plan, Pam's plant. Love the channel. The amount of caffeine I would need to do what you do all day. Well, I mean, I don't do this all day, and it's fun. It's fun. EJ, are you doing Pam's plan? EJ is one of those guys that's grinding on my gears. He's heard about Pam's plant, yet he continues to operate in inefficient ways. We want efficiency. Pam's plant is an argument for efficiency. Up 40 in a few minutes. That's a lot less than most people working out. Yeah. And that was 1 MNQ. That's true, elusive lens. That's a good way of looking at it. Nice trade. Thank you. Why was that a good place to enter the trade? Well, if you want to learn more, you asked, because that's that's not like an easy answer that can just be done in like 2 seconds. There's a lot of components. None of the pieces per se are complicated, but there are multiple pieces that do go into it. So I'm not going to sit here and turn this into any sort of big sales pitch, but you're kind of asking. It seems like you have a craving to learn. So there you go. If you would like to learn from me, there you go. When using Tradeovate, do you have to sign up for the market? No. With Take Profit, it's you don't have to pay anything. What you pay gets you real-time data and everything. It's all baked into that price that you pay, SM. I'm shocked, SM, that you have not done it yet. You've been here a long time. You're one of those slow. You're like one of those crock-pot people, huh? You're like a crock-pot when it comes to your decisions. Hey, 132 likes. Fantastic. Can we get this up to 130? I think we can go for 140. I really do. I think we could get this up to 140 likes. We're only 8 away. So if you are enjoying... so this trend line here before has created a rejection already. I don't know. I'm starting to get a little too much tread lines. This is starting to get a little sloppy. Sloppy Joe. Sloppy Joe. Name the movie. There's our. We have not. I just realized we did not do our movie trivia yet. There it is. Sloppy Joe. Sloppy Joe. Name the movie. Name the movie. Ooh, or is this the short right here? Short right there. Stop above the highs. It's too late now. All right, I guess we can get that line out of there. That was our Tony line, right? So much for all those Christians that prophesize a stock market crash. I'm a Christian. I can't say I prophesize a stock market crash, or can I say that I know any other Christians that prophesize a stock market crash? It makes me think that maybe you're not giving yourself a broad sample size, Martin. Good job, Emmy. Anyway, using TradingView instead of Tradovate. Yes, right here when you go through the checkout. So again, first you got to select the purchasing power. And then right here, they do have TradingView as a choice if you so choose to use them. Do you have to pay taxes on these trades? So that's the T down here. Pam's Plant. Tax reporting is easy. When it's tax time, Take Profit Trader, the prop firm, will just send you a 1099, and that's it. 1099, so you give your accountant one piece of paper, you'll hand them the 1099, and that is it. How nice is that? Whew, so nice. So nice, so clean. That's why I had to get in with Pam's Plant, because wow, is tax reporting easy. You give your accountant, like I said, I repeat, one piece of paper. Yes, SM, you were very slow. I won't push back against that. I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, but at some point it's like, you got to just kind of make the move. Do you do crypto as well? No. I only day trade futures now because that's literally the only thing that makes sense. And when I say makes sense, I mean that logically, and I mean logically based in math. Like it mathematically only makes sense to day trade futures through a prop firm. And that's kind of what I like to prove every now and then. And I am defining making sense as being most efficient. If you care about doing things efficiently, then day trading futures through a prop firm, what we call around here Pam's Plant, is the winning argument. Nobody has been able to defeat the argument. People can only, when I say attack, I don't mean like they can only address the person, me making it. We had that today. That is the ad hominem fallacy. So you're like, okay, tell me what you disagree with about Pam's Plant. Like, well, you're just doing it to sell a subscription, or you're just doing it because you're an affiliate. It's like, okay, so your claim has nothing to do. You're not saying it's not a good idea. So your position would be, I am giving a good idea because I get paid affiliates. But you do agree it's a good idea. Yeah, but you're a con man. Okay, so your argument is I'm a con man that's given a good idea. Well, you're just a scammer. Okay, so your argument is I'm a scammer who's giving a good idea. Like they want to address Pam's Plant, which is the idea. They'll attack me. Again, ad hominem fallacy, but they won't actually address the idea because it's actually a good idea. It's actually a good idea. I have it now, though. So did you complete the purchase process, SM? Are you telling me you completed the purchase process? Is that what I'm understanding when you say, I have it now, though? Well, yeah, I think Bitcoin, I think there's futures for Bitcoin, which is fine. You can trade futures on Bitcoin. I never have, but at least you're still trading futures. The two are not necessarily, the claim's not that it doesn't cost money, but a part of the claim is low capital required. It doesn't cost a whole lot of money to get involved with a prop firm. But I have had yet anybody be able to tell me how Pam's Plant is a bad idea. So still waiting on that. I welcome the challenges, but I would submit it's pretty tough to beat. It's pretty tough to beat. I had to burn about 3 to 5 accounts before getting a pro. Yeah, well, accounts will be lost. Yes, I realize that, but so those accounts that you burned, can you imagine how much? So when you burned one account, how much did you lose? Let me ask you that. Nice, SM. What? 2 questions. What size account did you go with, and are my kids going to eat tonight because you used code Clay? Again, the claim of Pam's Plant is not that it won't require money. That's not the claim. The claim is it requires low amounts of money. No. Oh, what I'm saying is when you failed, how much did you lose that caused you to fail? So, okay, maybe. What size account were you using? Okay. Okay. Oh, what size account? Was this a 25K account, a 50K account? 50K. Okay. So I'll just what I was asking is how much did it cost you to lose that account? So you lost $2,000 within the test phase. But can you imagine? So you did some bad things that caused you to lose 2,000. Fair enough. Can you imagine doing those same exact bad things outside of a prop firm and then losing 2,000? What's the difference? Well, the fact that it's outside of a prop firm means that would have been your $2,000 lost. So I don't want to speak for you, but I'm pretty sure you're like, I'm glad it actually only cost me $119 out of my pocket as opposed to $2,000, which it would have had you been doing those same exact mistakes outside of the prop firm. You see what I'm getting at? That's what I was trying to convey. So yes, yeah, it does require money. I'm not saying that prop firms do not require money. I'm saying it's more efficient because you get more bang for your buck. Because instead of losing $2,000 of your own money, you only lose that. You can fail quite a few tests for the price of one bad trade with your own money. Oh, SM, I'm gonna let my kids know when they're eating that nice juicy steak tonight. I'm gonna say you can thank SM. If you were to restart your day trade journey, would you jump right? Oh yeah, great question. Yes. Well, no. Well, let me ask you this. XRZ, whatever that is. Do prop firms exist? Do prop firms exist within your hypothetical scenario? Do prop firms exist? Good, good. So does the prop firm lose money on those accounts? Good question, Drew. I should have mentioned that because it's a very good observation on your part, and I need to get better at doing that. So what Drew is basically, I don't know if he's saying, wait a second, Clay, this seems a little scammy. How can a prop firm get 119 from you, but then allow you to lose $2,000 of their money? Very, very good observation. That is because this is a simulated environment. So the same is true here. I've had somebody like, that's a scam. So if you pass the test because you hit the profit target of making 3,000, they get to keep the 3,000 and you don't get to keep any of that other than getting to move into the pro account. A fair complaint. But again, this is all in a simulated environment. So there's not actually being $2,000 lost, just like there's not actually $3,000 being lost. So that is how it's viable for them as a company. Well, I'm just trying to, I'll answer it this way. You're a noob to try this, trying to learn. If there was not prop firms when I got started, I would not do futures because futures can move, and wow, they can move very quickly. And as somebody that's totally new, that would be crazy of me for putting all of my money at risk in the world of futures. So when I got started, there was no prop firms. So no, if I was brand new and there was not a such thing as a prop firm, I would not do futures first because, like I said, they can move. They can move and they can move quickly. But if you were to say, Clay, when you got started, would you go into futures and prop firms did exist? Absolutely. Absolutely, for all the reasons I've been talking about. It is a very, very cost-efficient way to learn. Are prop firms a new product? No, they've been around for a while now. And why I haven't used them. They've been around now for a few years, and my community for the longest time has been like, Clay, dude, you got to get into futures. You're going to love futures. But I was kind of stuck in my ways, day trading stocks and options. And then they're like, dude, now you definitely have to get into futures because there's this thing called prop firms. And I'm like, no way. Prop firms sound like a scam. You guys can go get scammed. And I members of the community that are the really good traders, way better than me. They're like, well, I'm going to go try them. Even though I don't need to, they make very good money. But they're like, why would I risk my money? Basically, they invented Pam's plant. I'm just now organizing Pam's plant. But Pam's plant was their argument to me over the years. But I think rightfully so. Now I'm skeptical of prop firms, but now there's been literally multiple years of them showing getting paid, them not getting scammed. Sure, there have been scammy prop firms, but the ones that I'm aligning myself with have track records. They do pay all that. So eventually I was like, all right, I got enough proof. So no, they're not new. They're somewhat new. I think some people are wondering if you can make money trading so much. if you can make money trading much, I think some people are wondering, if you can make money trading so much money from prop firms, why don't you just trade them instead of being sell? No, I don't think anybody's asking that. And I mean, if that's what they're asking, I've answered this a million times because I believe in multiple streams of income. Why not trade them and sell them at the same time? To me, that sounds like a good, efficient use of my time. If I can use time, like some people, it's just the false dilemma, like either or. Well, why not? Why not do both? So that would be why, if they're wondering. Clay, if prop firms are so great, Clay, if prop firms are so fantastic, why don't you just trade them? Why do you got to sit here telling people about them? Well, I mean, this first reason, I mean, fine, you don't have to believe it. Well, because if it's a good idea, it kind of makes me feel good to share good ideas with people. Give me a break, Clay. You're not doing this out of the goodness of your heart. Okay, fine. Even though that is true, we'll just assume that that's not true. Fine, because I can make money. I can spend 5 minutes. And that 5 minutes, instead of just making money from prop firms, that same exact 5 minutes, I can make money from prop firms and make money from telling people a good idea and make an affiliate. So that's why I'm trying to maximize my time. Do I not mention, like I don't think people understand, I'm a process engineer. Like, it was driven in my head, be efficient, be efficient. I'm trying to be efficient with my time, especially if my time is away from my friends and family. I think it is my job, my duty as a husband and father to make my time as efficient as possible when I am away from them. So that is why I would do that. So it's paper trade until you pass, but after you have a pro account, how do big losses affect you? The same way. Once you get into the pro account, if you go degen mode, so let's just say that, you're in the 50K, you go to the pro account, that level's still there. Like, you don't get to just do whatever you want. There are still rules there for you. They still want you managing risk. So please do not think that just because you pass the test and move to the pro, that the pro account means you can do whatever you want. No. They got to watch themselves. They got to guard themselves. There are still rules. So that is how you would lose a pro account. Same way you would lose your test account. Good question. Yeah, if you do lose, Drew, if you lose the test account or if you lose your pro account, your all-in cost is still just, whatever you paid for the test in the first place. So that's what. So we had Mark a couple of days ago in the chat room posted this. So this is pretty cool. This shows right here the nuclear explosion growth and copy trading. So with prop firms and take private trader, you can have up to 5 accounts. So to illustrate kind of how the numbers can work out. Let me show you what Mark did. I don't know if he's still in here, but he was in here. I was giving him a hard time because he made $6,000 and he didn't tell me how to make $6,000 with him. So I had to give him a hard time about it. But Mark was like, all right, I can have up to 5 accounts. So he went and bought 5 of these 50,000 accounts. So each at $119. So his all-in investment was $595. He posted, I can't remember, Tuesday or something, that he took those accounts, he passed them all from test phase into the pro phase. And in the pro phase, he got $5,000 of payouts. So he got $5,000 sent to his bank account. He then went and did something and lost the $2,000. So therefore, he blew all the accounts. But how did he do this? Well, what he did was copy trading, meaning he had 5 accounts, but he was only trading one of them. So on that one account, he made $1,000. But because he copied all those trades to 4 other accounts, he was doing that actually 5 times. So I'll repeat that again. With copy trading, you can have 5 accounts. So all his decisions on a single account led him to make $1,000. But because he copied all that to the 4 other accounts, he actually made that $1,000 5 times, and therefore he requested $5,000. He then went and broke the rules, like he said, so they took all those accounts away from him. But at the end of the day, he lost $595, right? Because that was what he paid for the accounts. But what did he make before he lost the $595? Well, he had $5,000. So if his total all in was $595, and we subtract that by 1, multiply it by 100 to get the percentage, that was still a 740% return on his investment. So that is why I say it's more efficient to go through a prop firm and do all this. I don't know how I got on that topic. Somebody's question sent me on there, but there you go. What about those who trade directly and over Tradeovate without? What about those? Again, if you are trading in Tradeovate using your own money, then you're taking on all the risk. If you have a really bad day or you get caught in a spike like I got caught yesterday and it's boom, thousands upon thousands of dollars against you just like that, well, that's all of your money gone. At the end of the day, we all know you all make more selling props and courses than actually. Nothing wrong with that, but nobody is just... What? No, see, that's the stuff I can't stand, Roger. I've said that from day one. And if you don't believe me, all you got to do is go back in the video archives. I've always said that. So don't make all-inclusive statements. That's the stuff that, it's like, Roger, somebody's like, oh, you're a degenerate gambler because you tell them you're a trader. It's like, well, excuse me, sir. Don't you think that's a bit of a blanket statement? Like, that would drive you nuts. That's why it drives me nuts. No, I've never hid the fact. Yes, it's because it's scalable. Like, I can only make one trade at a time. It's kind of like copy trading. If I can copy my time, that's what I'm doing. So yes, by definition, I would make way more selling classes, subscriptions, affiliates, all that stuff because it's scalable. Like, I don't even need to be there and it's happening. So why I don't, let me put it this way. Maybe I don't understand why people do lie about it. Like, what? I don't get what's shameful about that. It's of course, have people never scaled business or scaled their time? I don't think, maybe most people haven't. Like, if you have a skill, it's like, okay, so I like to watch debates. So this is what, like, I don't understand. Like, so people, I've some of the people, the debates I've watched in debate prep, they're doing a ton of prep. And then they turn their debate prep into a book. So it could be argued, you make way more money selling books than you do from debating. It's like, well, yeah, because they used their time wisely. They turned all that hard work that they put into prepping for the debate, and because they had so much, I turned it into a book. And then it's like me going, look at this guy. He makes more money from selling his books than debating. I'd be like, yeah, good businessman. So how that is somehow bad, I think just shows how I think it's just from a core of jealousy. People are just jealous. But Roger, I do understand your point. If they lie about it, fair enough. We're on the same page. But I never have. And you can go back. I mean, I've said it from day one. Like, it blows my mind how people actually pay me to learn. Like, I don't think I'm a terrible teacher, but am I like super, super good? I don't know about that either. So yes. And as you can see, you did strike a nerve. Just like it would strike a nerve if somebody called you a degenerate gambler because you told them you trade. Like, well, no. Sure, some people that trade are degenerate gamblers, but that's a bit of a blanket statement to say that we're all degenerate gamblers. At least I should say most traders I know, that strikes a nerve. So yes, that definitely, I will own that. Blanket statements about that, which is, I've always been upfront about. Again, Roger, you're right. It's coming from a place of jealousy. Sure, go for it. If you think it's that easy to create a quality course, Roger, go for it. Do it. But most people are like, wait a second. That's actually, like, and I'm not kidding. I have like 500 hours into putting my program together. Like, I call it course mode. I wake up at 4:57. No, excuse me, 4:47. I don't know why. I like to give myself 13 minutes. 13 minutes before 5 o'clock. From 5 to 8 a.m., that is my course time where I'm focused on putting on slides and putting it all together. And then from 8 to 9:30, that's when I'm doing customer service, and then I get into it. So go do it, Roger. Go create courses. I'm telling you, it's not easy. You better be good at it or else nobody's going to buy it. People like Roger, just like they built in this assumption, like creating a course is just easy. Like, it's just easy. You just create a course. You just sell a subscription. There's no like back-end maintenance. There's no customer service. You just do it. Go do it. Be a good businessman, Roger. If it's that easy, go do it. You are hating. You are, though. You are. Roger, well, you're talking to the wrong guy. As I've said 18 million times, you don't know any full-time traders. Neither do I. I'm not a full-time trader. I could not do it. I think a goal of being a full-time trader. So, Roger, I think you have bad expectations, because what you expect from somebody is, no, I want somebody that just has one stream of income. Well, you are going against what every wealthy person I've ever studied does. Every wealthy person I've studied, They have one thing in common: many streams of income. So your expectation is you expect somebody to do the opposite of what wealthy people do. You expect somebody to just have one stream of income. So I hope you don't find that person, because that person, I would say, hey, that's kind of silly. Like, why don't you create multiple streams of income? But I could never be a full-time trader. That's way too, like, really having to trade to make profits to pay the rent and pay food and this, and this. That's why from day one, like, if you were to join my community, we are all about side hustles, grinding, creating sides or streams of income. I still remember Sean, like one of our first traders. She was a woman, fantastic, but she worked at a bar as a side hustle because she's like, I can't do it. It's too much pressure, but I like having these other streams of income. So your expectation is somebody just goes against what wealthy people do. So yeah, I don't know what you are just you're hating, and you're wanting something. You're wanting people to go against what wealthy people do. You're wanting people to behave dumbly. And yeah, I'm not going to behave dumbly. I'm going to create many streams of income. So let me be very clear. Like, I know a full-time trader, such and such. Well, yeah, you just named somebody with probably a YouTube channel. They're further not a full-time trader. They're getting money from YouTube. Maybe they sell stuff. Maybe they have affiliates. And that's fine. Good for them. They're creating many streams of income. That's the goal. That's the goal. But that's always been, that's where we always have friction. You have that, I don't know if jealousy is the right word, but you just have these, well, I just want somebody to only have one stream of income. No, that's a faulty premise you're operating from. Faulty premise, bad premise. It is. Yeah, Hooch has always done side hustles. Yeah. Like, get out the goal. And I just did a podcast on this. One of the dumbest goals you can have is, I want to be a full-time day trader. Really, you don't want to have any other streams of income. The goal should be, I want to be a multiple income stream creator. That is a good goal, because that's what every wealthy person I've studied does. So, Roger, you don't have any other streams of income. That's what you're telling me, Roger? You have zero other streams of income. Is that your claim? If so, then you will officially be the first full-time trader I've ever met. If it is your claim that literally every single bill, every single thing depends on your trading. So like you said, the only slight downside is that prop firms have scaling limits. Well, no, Drew. So with Take Profit Trader, yes. But after you master prop firms and all that, their rules, there are other prop firms that I would recommend. But those ones, they get a little more complicated with the rules. But then you could go to multiple prop firms and have multiple accounts with them. But that's where you're at right now, Drew. That's too far away. Right now, you need to prove to yourself that you can get up to 5 accounts, manage 5 accounts, and once you prove that to yourself, we'll call it a proof of concept, then yeah, you can go to other prop firms and create accounts with them. So does that make sense, Drew? Sorry, I didn't even realize we didn't have the chart up. Good question though, Drew. Yeah, I appreciate your ambition. I appreciate you kind of like, but let's cross one bridge at a time, Drew. One bridge at a time. Should I average 1K a day, and that's enough for me. Also to clarify, I am not jealous. Well, you're something. I don't know what it is. I just think trading is not for the weak, and that's why guys won't do it. So you never really answered my question. You answered my question with a question. Are you telling me that trading is literally your only source of income? That's what I mean, good job. $1,000 a day. That's fantastic. I just think trading is not for the weak. I agree there. And that's why guys won't do it full time. No, I don't do trading full time because I cannot do it full time. I would not be able to do it full time. I have no problem in that. The pressure would be too much, especially with 6 kids. There's no way I could do full-time trading as my only source of income. No way. So that it's not that. I mean, yeah, I just couldn't. I mean, I'm a strong, I'm a hustler, I'm a grinder, but I'm not sure what that has to do with dealing with the pressure of doing it full time. Like, I got 6 kids to feed. I could not be a full-time day trader. The pressure would get too much to me, and I've still never met a full-time day trader, which is, I'm not sure why you're not answering my question. I have a sneaky suspicion that you actually do have other streams of income. No, if the only way you're going to trigger me is now not answering the question. Do you have any other streams of income? You're telling me you don't have an investment portfolio. You're telling me you don't own any real estate. You're telling me you don't have like a savings account that's, paying you. I mean, right now you should be getting at least 4% on a savings account, which is creating, payments every month. Like, you're telling me you have 0 other forms of payment streams of income. Is that what you're telling me, Roger? The fact that you, okay, why are you not answering the question? Do you, okay, so in other words, you do. So you're not a full-time trader. Okay, so there you go. Point proven. I still do not know any full-time traders where they sit there and Roger, by the way, good on you. I'm glad that you are a man of multiple streams of income. Good job. That's what we want. So good on you. Yeah, we know. You have other streams of income. You are avoiding that question for a reason. Do you have any other streams of income? Which is great, because what you're telling me is you actually make more than 1K a day, because you make 1K from your trading stream of income, and then you're making money from these other streams. So, yeah, I mean, good job. You're beast moding it. You're making more than $1,000 a day. That is awesome. No. You don't have any savings. You don't have any dividend stocks. You don't have any of that stuff, huh? You don't own any real estate. Is that what you're telling me, Roger? With all due respect, you seem like a pretty smart guy. So I don't believe that. I don't believe that you don't have any dividend stocks. I don't believe that you don't have any real estate. I don't believe that you don't have any. Now, when I say real estate, I don't mean like an apartment complex, but I think you make a little bit more than $1,000 a day. What is the discount on your take profit link? Yeah, 30% and no activation. By using code CLAY, you'll get the best deal possible. All right, well, if that's the truth, I'll take it at face value. Then you are the first ever full-time trader I've ever met. But if your expectation is for everybody else to work, not like you're working harder, not smarter. Like, what your complaint is, man, I wish people would just grind like me. I don't want to grind. I want to work efficiently. I want to work smarter, not harder. So if you're complaining against people like me that we're not willing to grind, no, I'm not willing to be inefficient. You want to call it grinding? I'm going to go ahead and call it inefficient. Yes, and I don't want to be inefficient. If that makes me a con man, if that makes me a scammer, if that makes me whatever, then so be it. But I sleep just fine at night because I've never made the claim that, heck, I don't even make the claim I'm a good trader. I'm just here talking. But yes, you're absolutely. I'm not looking to grind. I'm looking to be efficient. I think that is your, like I said, I don't know what word it is, not jealousy, but I think deep down you know that you could probably be maybe a little smarter. Like, you could make more than $1,000 a day if you grinded in other ways. Like, well, let's get some other streams of income going. But there's no way, dude. Okay, there's no way. If you're making $1,000 a day, that's $20,000 a month. We got taxes in there, and just to be overly, let's say you're paying 50% in taxes, so you got $10,000. You're telling me that you don't use any of that $10,000 within your monthly budget to buy some dividend stocks? Like, I don't know, man. That seems kind of crazy. So for the account that has 2K max loss, if you're in a single position and it hits a 2K unrealized loss, yes, Drew, it absolutely does, boy. Drew, they're not going to let you hold in hope. Oh, please go back up. No, that's not trading. They're going to, again, that's Pam's plant, Drew. Sounds like you need a little bit of this in your life, Drew. Added risk control. How so? Rules. They'll force you to be disciplined. They'll force you to think about position size. They'll force you to cut losses. They won't allow you to hold in hope. Oh, please, go back up. If your unrealized hits 2,000, you go. Game over. You were holding and hoping. We're not going to allow that here. We want traders that can manage risk. So yeah, Drew, that's that's why I like it. They drive home. They force you to focus on risk. I see there are rules around news and FOMC. Do any of you guys know no news trade applies around? Yeah, so Iran, they will let you know. If assuming you're using Take Profit Trader, they will email you. Now this only assumes in the pro account. So in the pro account, they will email you and let you know, hey, this is a news event. You cannot be in the position 1 minute before, during, or 1 minute after. I have a lot of debts to pay off from school, so that is a priority. Good. And to be clear, my average is 1K. I do have red days. Okay. Well, Roger, good job paying off that debt. Good job. What do you have a degree in? Thanks, Clay. But yes. With Take Profit Trader, they will email you. Red Folder News doesn't come along very often, but they'll email you. So if you can get in the habit of, they also have a calendar that you can use on their dashboard. Organic chemistry. Good on you. See, I told you I could tell you were smart. Told you. You know I nailed that. I said, I think I can tell you're a smart guy in your organic chemistry. See? But I get it. Now with more context, you got to get those debts knocked out. Good job. But man, if you're full-time, put together some courses, man. There's no shame in that. In fact, I would argue somebody that's been able to accomplish what you do, you're kind of being a savage by not teaching other people how to do it. Teach people, man. You're doing them a service. If they find your service worthwhile, as long as you're not stealing money out of their account, if they're like, hey man, I want to learn from this Roger guy. Cool, man. You're helping somebody out and you're getting paid to help somebody out. Good for you. What you should do, if I were you, I would do some like tutoring. Like tutor people in organic chemistry, given that's like the hardest thing. That's what I would do. I'd look to do some tutoring. Pay off that student loan debt a little faster. That's your golden ticket, man. Maybe, do you do any tutoring? There's got to be like, for college kids, think about it. All right, here we go. Business planning session. Let's think like a parent of a college kid that's trying to do pre-med, that's trying to do something. Because if you're taking OChem in college, you're shooting for the stars with something. So as a parent that's got your kid and the kid is like hanging on by a thread, like the parent wants their kid to be the doctor or whatever it is, that parent, they're going to be willing to pay whatever needs to be paid for you to save, because OChem classes are designed to weed people out, but parents will be like, man, you could provide a service that's very valuable, that will help out my student pass organic chemistry class so that they can continue on to accomplish their goals. What's it going to cost me to make that happen, Roger? Oh man, dude, you got to set something up for that. What are you doing? I don't care what you hated. I'm not saying you have to do this for the rest of your life. Do it until you get your debt paid off. I don't want to, come on, Roger. You're in such a good, oh man. Man, you're sitting on a golden ticket. I've got a golden ticket. Name the movie. 2 movie trivias. Yeah, that's what I mean. People taking organic chemistry, like their parents are going to be like, man, my daughter's shooting for the moon. I want to help them any way I can, but they're struggling with organic chemistry because it's as hard as garbage. I barely made it through chemistry in college. Man, Roger, please help my kid out. We'll pay you. You're not exploiting us. You're not a bad guy. You're providing a service. We would gladly pay you. Help our kid out. You are a savage, Roger, for not tutoring. You are a greedy, selfish savage. You could be helping kids accomplish their dreams to become doctors or, scientists. You are a greedy savage by not doing so. Do it. You're sitting on a golden ticket. Oh my God. Oh, good grief. Oh, man, I can see it. I can see it. And with the day of on, it's not like back in the day, maybe you could make the excuse, well, I live out in the middle of podunk nowhere. I don't have any universities around here. But we got this beautiful thing called the internet. Man. For 50K margin account, could you theoretically go all in and take... So on the 50K account, the max you can do in a single position are 6 of the very volatile contracts or 60 of the not so volatile. So yeah, that'll give you that'll get your position fluctuating pretty quick and in a hurry. So for each one, it tells you what the max, and that's not per day, that's just per trade. So right here, with the 100, you could get up to 12 of the very, very volatile ones or 120. All right. Man, we're going at 3 hours. I'm saying, why do I feel so kind of mentally dead right now? That would be why. That would be why. All right. So took 4 streams on the live stream. First 2 were rough. The third one was, just good. Actually, the fourth one was the funnest. That was a nice move up. But you got to just manage that risk. Manage that risk. And just give yourself a fighting chance. Clay, can you copy? Hey, whoa, what's going on here? My friend, no need to spam. Clay, can you copy trade a 50K and 150K account? Given that, yes, you can copy trade multiple accounts of different sizes, yes. But don't worry about copy trading right now. Take a trade, Clay. You take a trade. I already took 4 of them. Where were you for the other ones? Sorry, hit my keyboard. No problem. That's a fancy keyboard you got there. You take it, Clay. I'm mentally burnt out. And I took 4. Did you not see any of them classes Qs? Man. Drew, are you all set? You're asking a bunch of questions. Drew's planning is how he's going to take over the world through the prop firm. Hopefully he just takes it one at a time. Dance, Clay, dance. Oh, and good job, TPT Frank. You got I've got a golden ticket. You got that. All right. That's all I have. I am doing a free webinar tonight. If you're interested, you can check it out right here. Sign up for it. It'll be a good time. It'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern time. If you can't make it live, that's okay. Sign up for it still. It will be recorded, and I'll send you a link to the replay. If you want to trade with me and other, just a good group of people, real good group of people. It is not free, and it's not free because how did you achieve over 6,000? I don't know. Started back in 2013. COVID was really good. They exploded then. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of ask myself that all the time. How did 600,000 people decide to hit that subscribe button? Yeah, I don't know. All right. Does anyone know if Trade-O-Vate counts a new trading day? Okay, elusive, it's what you got to think about. What take profit trader? Take profit trader. A futures day ends at 5 p.m. Eastern. So at 5 p.m. Eastern, this session is done. It's then closed for 1 hour. At 6 p.m. Eastern, that is the new session. Or in take profit jargon, that would be the new day. So a futures day goes from starts at 6 p.m. Eastern and ends at 5 p.m. Eastern. And then it starts at 6 p.m. Eastern and stops at 5 p.m. Eastern. Good. I'm glad I could help, Drew. There you go. All right. Well, I will. The plan is to be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. Or not? No. What? At 11 a.m. Eastern time to be back. So everybody, thank you. This was a lively discussion. Roger is going to go make millions helping people accomplish their dreams of becoming doctors by tutoring them in organic chemistry. So, yeah, what a golden ticket he's got. But for everybody else, had a fun one. This was exciting. And I'll see everybody back. Well, hopefully you'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern at the very latest. Take care, everybody.